Hello, hi. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hi. Hi, Ash. How are you doing? Thanks for being here.
It is so dark in here because daylight savings ended, which means it's always going to be dark whenever I begin stream, and I don't like it. It's dark. I don't like it. Yeah, not happy. But aside from that, doing all right. Tried to be productive today and ended up playing Baldur's Gate again. So I need to like physically restrain myself from doing that. But it's all right. Yeah, I want to play a lot of this game this week. I want to play a lot of Ace Attorney this week because I feel like we are starting to go towards a big. We're really in it now. Yeah, daylight savings switched over. I'm gonna Nightmare Mice, and I decided to go to a party. Oh no, it's only 1 a.m. It was in fact 2 a.m. Oh no, I'm so sorry. No, instead of going to bed at a reasonable time and trying to fix my sleep schedule, I just thought, you know what, that's an extra hour where I can play Baldur's Gate late at night, guilt-free. Ho ho. But it is what it is. Yesterday in my Baldur's Gate adventure, I did something that I'm not proud of, but I did it for the achievement. Much like the achievement in Yakuza 0 called I did it for the achievement. I may have gotten a little freaky with someone with tentacles. Only for the achievement though. Only for the achievement, and then I reloaded and chose not to do that. Because my tab is faithful to Shadowheart. Yeah, I also did that playing Rock Band while doing through the tier. I play every single song in one set list. Nice! You also did that in Baldur's Gate, do you mean? With the, But that's so cool. You're so close. Your companion's mentally walking. Yeah, that was so funny. Halson just looked so disappointed. I got Halson, Jahira, and Lae'zel, like, walked in on me, and, like, Halson was like, yeah. I'm debating skipping class tonight because I'm really tired from waking up early, and oh no. I mean, if you need a break, there's nothing wrong with taking a break and everything, you know? Do what you gotta do. I got all the boys for some reason. Oh no! Oh no. I can only imagine, like, what Astarion's face would look like. But I'm faithful to Shadowheart. I will not cheat on her with a Mind Flayer. But it is what it is. I already want to do another, I already want to start another playthrough. Here I am with so many games in progress, and I'm already thinking about doing another playthrough. It's pretty funny. I started a Dark Urge playthrough that I'm still super early on, but I really want to play more of that. But I should finish this first playthrough first. And, yeah. I just want to do so many different things. I know, I do need to finish it. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to do as much as I can. I always try to try to do as much as I can, but I also want to save stuff for other playthroughs. I already missed out on a couple things, I know for a fact. I forgot to save one of the tieflings, and it made me very sad. Because I thought I could Anyways, I forgot to save one tiefling, and I'm upset about that. I could not find them, and I could no longer get to the area where when I looked up where they were, I could no longer find them. I could no longer get to the area where they were, which made me sad. But it's fine, it's fine. We'll get them next time! Well, not, probably not on my Dark Urge playthrough, but another time. But yeah, this game is between Great Ace Attorney and Baldur's Gate. My brain is all over the place, and I'm also now starting to think about Final Fantasy XIV again. Because I haven't played that seriously in a while. I've been in post ARR for like 2 months now, and I'm close to Heavensward. I'm in like the last patch before Heavensward, but too many other games are taking my attention. So why not, let's get started on this game, I suppose. Start making some progress towards finishing one of these bad boys. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this if I do some more weekend streams and everything and like really double down on this. I don't know if we will finish this before Tactica, but that's fine. We'll be close to the end if not done with it, which is fine. And then we'll play Yakuza Kiwami alongside P5 Tactica. We'll see how much of Tactica I want to play. Definitely gonna play all of the Repaint Your Heart DLC on stream. And then probably like a decent amount of the main story. But if I start to get into that mindset of where I'm thinking more about combat over story when it comes to a game like that, I might just play it off stream. Kiwami, yeah, I'm scared. That boy Kiryu has been in jail for 10 years at this point, because the end credits of Zero was like explaining everything that went down, and I'm a little scared. Has he once again been accused of murdering somebody that he did not? Because speaking of Kiryu, hello Cam, how are you doing? How goes it? I miss Majima. Oh yeah, I miss Majima so fucking much. I just want to see him crawling out of sewers. Like, I need to see him go crazy. I miss him. But anyways, Majima and Kiryu might be love-ins. I miss them so much. Me when a character is named Kazuma or Goro. Yeah, but there's another Kazuma here that is, making me sick in the head. Anyways, we are in the Wax Museum, and we are investigating with Sholmes. Hi, buddy. What's up?
You really do need to speak with Mr. Sholmes, and I am longing to say hello again.
Kazuma's and Goro's driving us insane. Yeah, very real. Look right behind you, Susato. Yeah, we're here. I love this man so much. Oh, haha! All right. I think you might find that he's quite nearby, actually.
Oh, what do you...
Indeed, my dear fellows, it is I! The world-famous great detective and waxwork, Sherlock Sholmes.
He's as silly as ever.
Susato-san, did she just pass out? Uh-oh.
The waxwork came to life. It really is haunted in here.
My most humble apologies.
I thought I died and gone to eternal paradise for a moment. Via London.
My dear madam, allow me to make amends by offering you a tasty free deduction at some point. Oh, you won't give me the 5 shillings fee? As long as it's not of questionable street food quality. I'm gonna die. Oh, why? Ah!
I don't understand. Why are you working as a waxwork here, Mr. Sholmes?
The deduction business is slow these days. Merely secret identity, you understand. Though the case is largely solved by now. Oh, are things coming up? Are things about to happen? Oh yeah, we need to ask him why he covered up Kazuma. Why he hid the fact that he was alive. Sholmes, why did you lie to us? We're talking about the waxwork abduction, I presume? Indeed we are, my good fellow. As I predicted, it was as easy as proverbial pie. Though I confess, I'm yet to partake of a pie, proverbial or otherwise, or any food so far today for that matter. Aw, he's hungies. That stomach rumble echoed around the whole museum. I'm surprised he's not trying to eat the wax. Like, if there's like an extra supply of wax in the back, he might eat that. Oh my head, I'm scared. So how'd you manage to solve it so quickly? Oh, well, do remember I said it was largely solved. Anyway, I simply negotiated with the culprit. Are you familiar with the so-called telephone?
Oh yes, it's a most modern invention allowing you to hold a conversation with people far away.
Death is temporary. The deceased Blorbos can be put into any number of situations after a writer has 1 glass of wine juice. So true. Very true. Me. Should we throw a party? Yes. I'm so scared.
In Japan, only the imperial capital and a handful of other cities are connected as yet.
This morning, a telephone call was received here from the perpetrator of the abduction. As such, I was able to negotiate terms, and in the end, the waxwork was returned.
Hello! Hi, Rin, how are you doing? Thanks for being here.
That's amazing. I want to see what... Oh, we do have a picture of the professor, actually. We do have a picture of him. Just between you and I, it would appear the culprit had always intended to return the stolen waxwork in any event.
Oh, but I thought whoever was responsible had demanded a ransom, no?
Yes, I think perhaps the ransom demand was necessary to avoid unwanted suspicion regarding the true motive. Oh? Did revealed yet? If you mean,
Hello, Arnold Lane, welcome! Thank you for being here. How are you doing?
If you mean, the resurrection of, a certain somebody. I'm having a lot of feelings.
Your negotiating was entirely unnecessary?
A fact that I must ask you to keep from Madame Tuspel's at all costs. A hungry young iris awaits my return to Baker Street after all. Please give her a pie. Yes. I will scream a lot in this game. Yep. Yep. Mostly in regards to... you know who. Now then, do I sense that you have some business with this great waxwork? Hey. This belonged to the boyfriend who you pretended was dead. As we see, I'm rather busy at the moment. If it's advice you seek, come to my office tomorrow and I shall be okay, well I gotta talk to you about this now. Oh, there's a piece of evidence you can show that isn't important. Oh, which one? Let's see. Are any of these... Let's see. Picture of Odie Assman? Ooh. What does he have to say about this? The paper. You have been in my room and helped yourself, have you? Let's not turn this into a scandal, shall we? We're not in Bohemia, after all, but Well, considering I've already read it, one thing immediately strikes me. This paper is old news. Huh. What would possess you to show me this? What's done is done! You must distinguish, my dear fellow! Distinguish the old from the new! There's some conversations you wish you never started. A hoe never gets caught. Yeah, his little boobs are out. Oh yeah. Oh dear Assman. Yes, a fearsome adversary. Oh, is he another one of your exes? Oh my god, Sholmes, you slut! I once infiltrated his criminal organization in order to investigate the man and his activities. But he saw through my disguise instantly. I still remember what the man said to me now. What was it? Whoever saw such a tall old lady? What? I need a picture of the... I need to see this disguise. Does this exist? So you disguise yourself as an old lady? He investigated that man and his activities, sure. Indeed, but my special disguise hadn't seen the light of day again since that humiliation. Mrs. Minicle is retired. I need to see Mrs. Minicle. Please show me. Please show me. Me too. I would too. Will you take a left arm from this? Well, this waxwork only has a right arm left to give, right? Mrs. Minicle, is that a reference to Sherlock Holmes? But I need to see this too. I need to see that as well. All right. First, tell me about Enoch. We're in the process of trying to track somebody down. Oh?
Yes, a man by the name of Enoch Trevor.
Oh, it's just his own thing. Okay. I hope there's fan art of it. I really, really hope there is. I can't remember which case it is where you investigate the photo on the mantle. There are many right arms to give in a wax museum. True. Oh, it gives a fantastic dialogue. Ah. Arms are temporary, Mrs. Minicle is forever. So true.
He's the swindler who duped Professor Harebrain and the engineer who built the kinesis machine.
Sherlock Holmes has disguised himself as a woman before. Doesn't say the name though. Okay. I'm going to name her Mrs. Minicle then. A swindler and an engineer. Quite the modern man. He also seems to be a conjurer of sorts too, with considerable knowledge of stage magic. You really need to locate him before the trial resumes tomorrow morning. Well, we have so few clues to go on, that's the trouble. That's his drag persona, yes! Do you have any good ideas? I have no data yet. It is a capital mistake to have good ideas before one has data. If I knew something on the man's appearance, at least I may be in a better position to help. Alright, we do have a photo. We do have a photo of him. Fortunately for you, however, presently I have little to occupy myself and little to fill my stomach. What, do you want to eat the photo? As soon as you find any clue, no matter how small, I shall gladly give you my thoughts on it. Okay. Do I put this off? First, let's do this. Would you cast your eyes over this photographic print?
It's of Mr. Enoch Drebber, the face of the engineer we seek.
Well, all Englishmen look broadly the same, of course, so looking at the photograph won't be particularly instructive. Oh! The front facing again. Vine boom. Is this another one of your exes? Are you alright, Mr. Sholmes? Yes, forgive me. Is he a Baskerville or somehow involved in the Baskervilles case, the way he kind of froze up there? Very interesting.
What's wrong, Mr. Sholmes? You've turned quite pale all of a sudden.
Oh, he's definitely got to be involved in the Baskerville case. Alright, are we ready? The music stops and I'm... Mr. Sholmes, did you lie to us? My dear Mr. Naruhodo, stay that piercing stare. What is this about?
Last winter, when we were first on our way to Britain aboard the steamship. Your words were very clear. So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
I played a Marshall game like 7 times, but it's part of it.
You told us that it was murder, and you examined Kazuma-sama's body.
I'm gonna throw up. He needs milk, yeah! Indeed, and wherein lies the problem? Oh, you've betrayed our trust! We met him earlier today. The victim, Kazuma Asogi. You're quite sure?
He was wearing some sort of mask and was apparently suffering.
I don't buy that. I don't buy the amnesia. I mean, this is Ace Attorney, so anything can happen, but I feel like that's not gonna be the case. Like, I feel like this is part of his secret mission. What if he is meant to assassinate Van Zeeks from the inside or something? I don't know!
But, yes, I'm quite sure it was Kazuma-sama. You must have known at the time, Mr. Sholmes, that he wasn't actually dead.
I have such a deep appreciation for a serious but not forward-facing Herlock. I feel that. Well, I can only assume I was swept up in the murderous atmosphere of the moment. Oh my god, murderous, blah blah blah. Can you stop being silly for 1 moment, Sholmes? I need you to be serious for 1 second, if that's even possible for you. But the fellow wasn't dead at all! Priceless! I don't suppose that performance would pass muster, would it, Mr. Naruhodo? I couldn't believe that the crewmen present at the time made a mistake. But not you, Mr. Sholmes. I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. And, please, Mr. Sholmes. Tomorrow in court, you will find yourself on the threshold of a very great mystery. For now, I'm afraid that is all I can say. Bro! I have a suggestion, Mr. Naruhodo. Will you indulge me? Will you be honest with me? I feel sick. As I explained to you when you arrived, the missing waxwork has been returned. and I personally reinstalled it in the exhibit from which it was taken, behind those thick curtains. What does the professor look like? Have we met the professor? Is Kazuma dressed like the professor? Would you like to see it? For a mere 5 shillings? You owe me lots of free things for lying to me about my dead boyfriend for almost a whole year. You need to send me a meme? Please do. Standing off on the sidelines with a fire extinguisher. So yes, he's like, sorry, spoilers. The opportunity won't come again, I might add. Would you like to see the fruits of my labor?
Oh, well, we do have a rather pressing investigation to carry out. Perhaps we could postpone?
They seem oddly cool about him covering up the fact that he lied and everything, you know? I mean, I guess that we have some things to deal with, but, alright, I need to see this. I need to... Spoilers! We traumatized Kyle with it when he was playing. Yes! I love that so much, thank you. Spoilers. Alright, but... The price is a very reasonable 5 shillings. I think you'll find it's well worth it. You owe me, dude. Are you being quite serious, Mr. Sholmes? Are you for real? Surely you need to look at my expression to ascertain if this is serious or silliness. Your face does not give any suggestion of seriousness ever. Can never tell with you, that's the point.
Very well, it couldn't hurt. Here's your 5 shillings.
And you owe us. He's getting silly with it. Gratefully received. Kazuma's here cosplaying as the professor. So, the special exhibit awaits behind the curtain. I invite you to peruse it at your leisure. Is he back to being a statue?
Well, the money's been spent, so let's go and see the special exhibit.
I guess they're trusting that, like, he had a good reason to lie about it, but, like, if I found out the man that I've been living with for almost a year lied to me about the fact that my friend was alive and not dead, I'd be pretty pissed.
Hey, guys. My ass itches.
Sholmes' thought right now when he can't move. He's gone back to his waxwork.
Oh, yes. Mr. Sholmes is renowned as being a master of disguise, you know.
With Mrs. Minicle! Does pretending to be a waxwork count as a disguise? Oh my god, I swear to god, if it's a guy in a cape and a mask. It doesn't seem right that somehow the Mr. Sholmes slipped the money into his own pocket, does it?
No. Ah, we could ask Gina to retrieve it for us, using her special skills.
Yeah, we should. Pickpocketing police officers and diddling detectives. Is this what makes Britain great? Diddling. Not to mention demigod prosecutors taking the law into their own hands, or chip-loving inspectors.
Inspector Gregson comes off rather well on that list, I think.
I swear to god. But if the professor is the person that killed, So Clint, why would he make his apprentice dress up like him? I don't know why I'm bullshitting here. Oh. Where the fuck is his head?
Oh dear. I felt a shiver run down my spine as soon as we walked in here.
Has the figure... So no head. Who's this? Miss Susato! I say we turn it on our heels and go straight home. We are a really big confectionery.
Crotcherry's thin and built for speed, so...
Yeah, that's his new suit. That's how he can run around fast as a zombie.
Oh, we certainly can't do that. We paid 5 shillings already.
True. True! Now that I'm looking a little more closely, he's coming back from the dead. We've paid good money to see an exhibit that's clearly incomplete.
With little treats and trinkets?
The nerve of the great diddling detective is far more terrifying than anything in this place.
This must be what Mr. Sholmes meant when he said the case was largely solved.
Was somebody related to Kazuma actually I don't know why I keep tying this to Kazuma, but like, The return of the great departed soul. This dude's clearly coming back from the dead. So did Kazuma, although he was never really dead, but like, you know, Kazuma Sogi chooses death and all that, but Mr. Sholmes heavily implied there'd be a clue about the engineer in here, didn't he? But where? Isn't that him? No. Since we've paid 5 shillings, let's do 5 shillings worth of investigation, shall we?
Yes, we will get what we paid for.
Is that fear or frustration that's making Susato-san's voice tremble? Alrighty.
This must be the killer. The fiend known as the Professor.
Yes, I think so, according to what Madame Tuspel said. He killed 5 victims, all of noble or royal blood.
The waxwork is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place.
I know, it looks like it could start moving at any moment, doesn't it? If only it had a head, that is. Perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail.
So this is the condemned man.
Yes, the so-called professor.
Then perhaps his head was chopped off by a guillotine? But unable to find peace.
Hide-chan! Those are gonna be his first words when he gets his head back. It's Majima! Oh my god, the professor's Majima! Hi, Vice, how are you? Do we have to entertain such terrifying ideas, Mrs. Sato? Anyway, I'm sure the model had a head once. There's metal fitting for it, see?
Then perhaps Mr. Sholmes absent-mindedly forgot to reattach it?
That's an extremely absent-minded detective you're describing, isn't it?
Or perhaps the thief absent-mindedly forgot to include the head when he or she returned it to the museum?
And that would be an extremely absent-minded thief. Could there have been some reason why only the head wasn't returned? Well, whatever the reason, it means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? It's someone's face we know it has to be! Unable to find peace. Hikiru! Yes, it is November! There's something caught just inside the convict's jacket here. Oh! Looks like a piece of broken glass. Glass from the Crystal Tower, meh? This body has to have been used in the scam, the kinesis experiment. And what if, wait a minute, and there had to have been like a doppelganger, or somebody that looks like him. The glass chunk's there. Either this man, Ass Man is the professor and faked his death, or he's related to the professor, or somehow like the doppelganger of the professor. So this body had to have been used in the trickery. Yes, 24601.
I suppose it must have been made thick to increase its strength.
But why?
Well, perhaps.
Wait, if this is the body, wait. This is the guy they found this at the tower, right? So then how did the glass end up in... I'm trying to think. Because they found Ass Man, like, in the tower, right? But the glass there suggests that this body was the one that fell through the tower window. And so how would he end up there then? I don't know. Huh. There was some sort of shenanigan trickery there.
Hello, Frog. How are you doing?
Shut up, Adachi.
Alright, I'm theorizing. I won't do my detective work then. Huh.
Because the glass had to span a particularly wide area, such as in a big building, for example?
Well, we've seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? And some of the glass is broken too.
You don't mean...
Exactly. The Crystal Tower at the Great Exhibition.
But why would glass from the Crystal Tower be lodged inside this waxworks jacket?
Oh, maybe it was just the clothes that were swapped or something. It makes you think, doesn't it? It was in the clothing. Alright. Alrighty. Early in court, we established the kinesis experiment was a trick. First, I want to inspect this, in case there's additional information. Kiryu and Dojima. Oh, there is a pattern indeed. I'm simply vibing. It's deadline season, so I'm fighting for my life. Good luck!
I hope it goes well. Best of luck in completing everything you need to.
This piece of glass is almost as thick as it is wide.
Yes, I've never seen anything like it.
If you're to compare it to a human, only Mr. Sholmes has such skin.
There's really no need for such a comparison, Mr. Naruhodo, as you well know.
Anyway, it can only be from Crystal Tower, surely?
Yes, I think so too. It was probably made especially to meet the dimensions of the great structure.
Okay, there's nothing else unique about it. Nothing else of note. Alright. Alright, it was a trick. And now I discovered this fragment of glass here in this waxwork. Is it just a coincidence? There's nothing else to inspect over close up here, right?
Okay.
Thick glass.
Let's take a look at this
Figure.
This part of the exhibit is just as disturbing as the rest. It looks so real.
It seems to be a young man in a white overcoat.
And he has a large shovel in his hand too. Look.
White overcoat is what Drebber wore. A camera. Oh, that's Drebber's symbol. That's the pin that he wore. This has to be Drebber. What's this here? Quite a grave incident indeed.
Well, this would appear to be a lens in the middle, so I believe it's probably a camera.
Camera? But it's so small! British technology is incredible, isn't it? I mean, what about Mr. Sholmes' skin prints?
I think perhaps you should treat Mr. Sholmes' inventions as exceptions to the rule. But anyway, why would the man in a graveyard be in a graveyard at night with a camera?
Oh my god, we got a double! Oh no! Great minds think alike. Nice! I think only one went through, so I'll give you a free one. Where is it? I have too many alerts. I might need to trim them down a bit. Perhaps he's trying to capture the moment a dead body came back as a ghost to him, or somehow capture proof of this man's death.
Well, just borrow this for—
Alright, we're stealing things from the exhibit. Alright, so are we the baddies now? This wax figure was stolen and just returned. And so now, to balance it out, we have to steal something. There must always be something missing from the exhibit at all times. Although technically the head is still missing, so yeah. We always have been the baddies, yep.
By looking at the photographic plate inside the camera, we can see that what picture was taken.
Surely this is still a prop, right?
It's a piece of glass coated in a special emulsion that reacts to the light coming through the lens. If we open the cover at the back of the camera, we should find it.
Okay. You should see yourself, Susato Shot. Words. She's a woman in STEM! Alright, I'm gonna inspect everything before we, look at the rest of, the evidence. That's quite a large lamp the man's carrying. Or is it a lantern? It's not oh my god, is there gonna be a lamp versus lanterns debate now? It's not unlike a Japanese chochin paper lantern, actually, is it?
Lamp, lantern, chochin. The point is, it casts very little light. To be walking alone in a graveyard at night with only this? Well, I certainly couldn't do it.
I'm not sure I could visit a graveyard at all, even in broad daylight. But do you not have any— well, I guess now we know for a fact that you don't have a grave to visit because it's a fake grave! Look at his hair! Can I look at his hair? I can't see his face very well, can you? Perhaps if I just—
Oh, do you think you should be manhandling the exhibits, Mr. Naruhodo?
We just yoinked the camera, though.
I'll put it back exactly as it was, don't worry.
Enoch Drebber with the same logo and everything, and the guy had one— well, first off, that is him with the eye and the glass thing, yeah. I want to inspect this now. He can't hold a candle to Susato, she overshadows him completely. Ooh, is this the actual camera, really? Like, you'd think this would be just a prop, but if there's like a blood splatter, like, is this meant to be a replica of whatever was happening here? This whole thing is a prop, right? You really love contraptions like this, don't you?
Oh yes, anything mechanical I find absolutely irresistible.
Almost irresistible, surely?
Well, whenever I see a pocket watch, for example, I can't help myself. I simply have to take it apart.
That's worrying.
Yes, Father tells the time by the rumblings of his stomach now. He's given up having a watch.
Poor Professor Mikotoba.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo.
What is it?
On the bellows just here. It seems to be—
Which line? Which line? Him telling the time with his stomach? Dark red stains. I wonder what they could be. Interesting. She just destroys his watches. You know what? Good for her. She's learning. She's a kinesthetic learner. She learns by doing.
Oh my.
I'm sure it's not what you're thinking. Huh. Alrighty. And is there anything inside here? Oh look, the cover came open.
Yes, now there should be a glass plate inside. You have to change the plate with each new photograph you want to take, you see.
She must be related to Larry. Oh no. One thing he sells out is making oh yeah, he makes clocks. Well, she's the opposite of Larry then. She takes it apart. She takes it apart to learn how it works. Is something wrong?
There is no plate. It's been removed.
I mean, I would think this was a prop, but apparently not. What a pity. But I suppose if you think about it, this wouldn't be the it wouldn't be the actual one unless that's I don't know.
Oh, yes, you're quite right, of course.
Aww. But how did Miss Tuspel or whoever set this up know that somebody was there taking a picture? Know that Mr. Drebble was taking a picture?
What on earth? How can—
Whoops, he's squishing in. A black monocle.
Mr. Naruhodo, is it possible that this man is—
Did the shock of this sight turn his hair white? It's Enoch Drebber. How better to make something by breaking it down and seeing how— yeah, wasn't there like a whole, it wasn't a Phineas and Ferb episode about like reverse engineering and like something like that?
The color of his hair is different, but
it's unmistakably him. Indeed it is. Mr. Sholmes, this man is the subject of your present hunt, I believe. Yes, that's right. You've never watched Phineas and Ferb? Oh, I love that show! Just who is this man? Why is he here in this exhibit? And why does the convict behind him have no head? The head was missing when the model was returned by the thief who stole it. What a surprise. I'm so normal in saying about Phineas and Ferb. Understandable. So then the case isn't solved, is it? Did I not say so myself? Largely solved were my words, I believe. But I must locate the missing head, tout de suite, as Madame would say, or I'll be in grave trouble. Oh! I do, yeah, the 2 nickels meme, that's where that comes from, yeah. A very hungry iris still awaits my return to Baker Street, preferably with rations. Ah!
do you know, though, something about this room is strange.
Strange? What do you mean?
Well, the displays in the House of Horrors are supposed to depict real events, are they not?
Indeed they are, Mrs. Sato. Do go on.
And as terrifying as they are, scenes in the other exhibits are believable. But this one? This surely could never really have happened, could it?
I mean, with all haste, yes. I think it's time I educated you a little about necromancy. About the Professor 10 years ago, okay. I believe I told you a little about the Professor yesterday, did I not? He took the lives of 5 victims. One of them being So Clint. everyone being either a member of the aristocracy or royalty. All were attacked by an enormous hunting hound and had their... A hound, you say?
Interesting.
Teehee.
Oh gosh, an enormous hound? How awful.
This man was a Baskerville, wasn't he? Or somehow, I don't know. After taking the life of his fifth victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand. Accordingly, I agree with Teehee. The professor was tried in a closed court. No members of the public were permitted. A closed court? So you mean the professor's identity? As you've surmised, my dear fellow, his identity was never made public. Naturally. What if Strongheart is the professor? Naturally, he was found guilty and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging. He was buried in a grave at Lowgate Cemetery, which adjoins the rear of the prison where he'd been held. However, that was not the end of the affair.
Oh.
The very night that he was buried, the convicted man came back to life. Oh. Yeah, just like our boy. How'd they do that when you're not? Yeah. He can survive. He's like a chicken. He can survive for a period of time without his head. He clawed his way out of the ground and emerged into the moonlit graveyard. The exhibit here depicts that very scene, as described by the sole witness to those chilling events. There was a witness? Yeah, this fucker. But of course, my dear fellow, it was none other than the young man in the white overcoat, Enoch Drebber. He saw it happen? Isn't he like a magician, though? So couldn't this be a trick that he pulled off somehow? So this is a waxwork model of Enoch Drebber. 10 years ago, the convicted professor, having been gibbeted and buried. I almost read that as jabated. He was jabated, death by jabate. Emerged from his grave in the dead of night. The sole witness to that unimaginable scene was this young man. From appearances, I would say he was about 20 years old.
It's so horrifying.
Scared out of his wits, the young Drebber ran to a nearby police station to report the incident. And the sheer terror of what he'd seen is said to have turned his hair white overnight. As shown in the photograph we have, his hair is completely white. For the following few days, a story of what he'd seen was on every front page in the capital. The public was frantic for every last detail about the killer who'd come back to life. As you've seen, an exhibit was even created here to Madame Tuspel's.
I can quite understand why the man's hair turned white, certainly. What I don't understand is what Mr. Drebber was doing in the first place, in a lonely graveyard in the middle of the night.
This is all a big hoax! What was he up to? Drebber went through it so hard that his hair bleached itself. Yep. The professor's acts of terror threw London's upper classes into complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest levels of society. And since the killer's identity was never made public, rumors abounded. After all, no killer had ever before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder. Yes, I could imagine the impact the case must have had. But in time, of course, the rumors abated. So too did the talk of the shocking witness account of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a dubious ghost story, as a preposterous parlor tale.
But why did people stop believing it?
Why? Simply because there was no resurrection to speak of. As was established, in fact, did somebody dig up the grave and find the body? No resurrection. The police investigated the grave in Lowgate Cemetery and published their findings. The convict's body was found to be buried exactly where it had been following the execution. Unless it had been replaced! Oh my god, this is a professor theme? Ooh, it's very menacing. Ooh. Very appropriate for Halloween.
But That would mean Mr. Drebber must have lied to the police and the newspapers.
He's a con man. That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes. Shaking my ass to the professor theme. Let's go. Let's go. Every time I hear the phrase shaking my ass, I always think of the pug gif. What is it? Did it go through? Yeah. I always think of that gif with the pug. The young man subsequently vanished from society. Nothing has been heard of him since. It's rather striking then. He should resurface now, don't you think? 'Cause Kazuma's back, huh? All the themes, they are really good, yeah. But look at this owl staring at me. Of course the convicted murderer couldn't really have come back to life, that's not possible. But Drebber's hair is unusually white, and if that really did happen overnight as a result of shock, it's hard to believe the incident was an out-and-out lie. Gina? What are you doing here?
What the bleeding Nora, Odo? What have you gone and done?
Gina, what are you doing here?
I asked Iris, and she said this is where you'd be, so...
Oh, did you track down Enoch's lab?
Did Toby do his job?
Gina, not so loud in the museum. Madame Tuspels will have you take a position as a waxwork if you're not careful. Think there might be a more pressing concern.
I still had some flash powder left from 6 months ago, so...
So? Alright, Gina, we understand, but
Please, put down the gun.
one of the Ace Attorney themes is my number 2 Spotify track of all time. Ooh, which one? Do I know it?
Sorry, I got scared.
You should try being the one on the other end of the barrel. So what brings you here, Gina?
What brings me here? What do you think? We found it. We found that dodgy Gov's workshop.
The baby! You did such a good job!
Toby, here you have a little head pat. You did amazing. Yep, Toby's nose took me straight there. The boss and the others are heading over there now in a drag. The baby! Good boy! Here's the address. I got the boss to write it out. Oh, thank you, Gina. We'll make our way there at once.
I hope Toby gets a raise. I think Toby, the puppy, should be Toby Sr. and Tobias Gregson should be Toby Jr. Because obviously Toby the puppy is the superior Toby. Why are you so sad? You go. Don't mind me. I'll just stay here being still. Bruh. Toby Sr. Yes, so true. Where did your eyes go? They took my fucking eyes. I'm sorry. What did Mr. Spell do to you? I know my place in the exhibit over here. He does technically outrank Gregson since Gina called him Chief Inspector Toby. Oh my god, yes. Yes.
Oh dear, someone is feeling sorry for himself.
Let's go, Mr. Sholmes, you're coming. Your words hearten me, I must say. But if I were to shirk my duties here, Madam would have me pay monetary recompense, and Iris's dinner plate. Ah! Oh my god. That's what you wanted him to do. You wanted him to pay, yep. There's not a moment to lose, my dear fellow. I shall hail a carrot at once. Wait, he's zooming. He got the zoomies. Got a lot of pent-up zoomies from being still as a waxwork. He's a single dad, he can do whatever he wants. You know what, fair.
I shall gladly play half, Mr. Naruhodo.
Thank you, Mr. Sato. Right, let's go. Alrighty. Ooh, that looks a lot like the beam pew pew. The Inator. The Kinesis Inator. If we're on the subject of Phineas and Ferb. It's the Inator! That looks like...
Oh, it's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Indeed, it would appear so. It's the Inator, the one that just shoots a beam into space. This thing is so Inator shaped. It really is. Oh my god, I see a ladder. Although I already got the achievement for getting all the conversations about ladders and step ladders, so I guess there will not be a debate about this one. Space Beaminator! Indeed, it would appear so, though only a prototype, naturally.
Ah, so you got here then? Gina, well done for finding this place. And in such little time. You've really worked miracles. It's Toby here, who's the miracle worker.
I love this sprite so much. You just hold the
Puppy out like that. Oh,
such a good boy. That is very clearly not a stepladder. Agreed. It does not have steps, it has rungs. Ah, thought you lot would show up before long. What happened to your eyes? Are you allergic to dogs? Or can you, why aren't you looking at anything? Looks like he's eating a lemon, not a bag of fish and chips.
puppy! So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer?
Sadly not. We didn't find a soul in here. They took his eyes too! Man, Madame Tuspel's collecting eyeballs from everyone.
Oh, what a shame.
Well, thank you for letting us know about this place and giving us a chance to investigate. According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue you lot turned up. I wouldn't want to say, go to Paris with a debt of gratitude unpaid now, would I? Thank you. Is this our last case? This odd facial feature thief case has come. Yeah. He's caught my eye, got his eyes! Anyway, if you open to snoop around in here, get cracking. Lord Van Zeeks and the forensic investigation team are on... Does that mean he's gonna be here? Is he following Van Zeeks? Can we wait and hang out and see him come here? Kakyoin! Not the Kakyoin! It got his eyes! Kakyoin! I forgot about that! Oh my god. Oh my god, how many facial features are we taking? First the eyes and the nose and the lips. Kakyoin! I should make that a sound alert. It got his eyes! Lord Van Zeeks and the forensic... Oh yeah, I read that, yeah. Does that mean he's gonna be here? You can't take his chin. True. Yeah, that's the one thing you can't take from him. And maybe the chips are fused to his body. The chips might be well, the chips are a separate body part. Like, they are part of his body, but you could sever them, but yeah. The OVA is so bad, it's amazing. I need to watch it. I imagine you got the picture by now. Don't take too kindly to lawyer types. Right. So then, my dear fellows, let's turn this place upside down whilst we have the chance. There'll be a tongue lashing. Ooh! And you, Sholmes. Whose tongue is gonna do the lashing? Pardon? I take even less kindly to great detectives than they do to lawyers. Very droll, Gregson, very droll. The dub is bad, the actual OVA is pretty good looking. Okay. I feel like the goofy dub is gonna be part of the experience. Puns are a little long in the tooth! Man, oh my god, where are the eyes? Is this gonna be our next mystery to solve, the missing eyes? But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork model. Right then, let's see what we can find here. Alrighty. Ladder cannot inspect that. This is Gregsy.
Airplane.
The missing eyes, indeed. What on earth this?
An aeroplane, Mr. Naruhodo. One day, scientists believe it will allow humans to fly freely in the skies.
Is that how the trick will be described, is it?
Sorry?
He's quite a skeptic. Well, it's actually suspended by a thin but very strong cable, isn't it?
Oh, well, this model is, yes. But a real aeroplane would actually fly high in the sky.
While suspended from somewhere even higher in the sky, of course. Because large metal objects obviously can't really stay in midair unsupported. Everyone only knows men in top hats can fly. And British ladies with swan hats. You bet the writer was blinded in duel, lost both S and was disemboweled. Rionosuke voice, what the fuck is an airplane? I just imagine him with the looking at the camera sprite with that caption, with that face.
So, to you, the solution is ever taller towers?
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes.
Thank you for your input, Ace Detective. Oh, this appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say? It's an impressive-looking back massager. Oh my god! Back massager! I've no doubt that if you hit your shoulders a few times with that, your aches and pains would... I need that. Please, I need this. The original version. I'm curious. It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science. A young scientist could wish for no higher honor. A back what now? Hi, Banana. This is a back massager. Ah. Would you like a massage? Ooh, yes, gladly. No! Why are you turning up? This man is hot. Yes, you're so valid for that. This is Herlock Sholmes. I love that entrance. Wait, this man is hot. You're right. Male version of Kiriko. Yes, I do have him in his little kitsune outfit. He has no idea what a trophy is. But yeah, we have him in this little outfit with the Overwatch mentioned jump scare. I had no idea it was such a grand thing.
I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there is much more to this Mr. Enoch Trevor than conjuring tricks.
I couldn't agree more, my dear madam. And how about you, Mr. Naruhodo? Wouldn't you like to take it with you? For your tired shoulders, of course. He's not gonna let that go, is he? I mean, I wouldn't either.
It's curious though, isn't it? You'd expect such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere, not haphazardly cast aside.
As long as it's just a rosy version of Yusuke, you know what? I get it. Oh yeah, because he's like Fox. This is his Phantom Thief outfit. Yeah, he is the most normal man. He is a normal man. Just innocent men. Alright. And he's broke. Yeah, and he's broke like Yusuke, yeah. And he goes into despair when he's not good at his art. Like the violin playing. Sorry, Yusuke. There's a little metal plaque here, look. Fostering burgeoning talent for the future of scientific discovery. Kinda like me. Persona 5 outfit, DL. This is... DLC, more like DLC. Although, yeah.
It seems rather ironic, doesn't it?
But clearly Mr. Jebber really was a very talented scientist. Interesting. Is there any secret compartment? Does this cup open? DL Not Goro Kichi. Goro Akichi. This is the darts. It's a European-style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside.
Oh, do you suppose?
Crossbow builds these. And just the right size for the bow you lot turned up at the exhibition grounds. In other words. Yep, that's more evidence to support your theory. It all goes to show that Dreba was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes of the whole scam. Goro Akechi, yes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. That machine is covered by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act.
Can we get an abbreviation for that? Like SDSEA or something?
There would be serious repercussions if you were to examine it from the Crown and the government.
Crossbow strings, yes. Sholmes. Oh yeah. They're all just like staring at it. Look at them. Well, those two don't seem to be holding back. But they're legally obligated to be silly. It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of deception to be seen, my dear fellow. They're gonna break the plane, yes! Just, I mean, this thing technically isn't evidence, right? The plane? Can't we just like snip the wire and let it fall?
No loose chains dropped on the floor or nothing. Not even a bone for Toby here, my dear fella.
He's picking up his mannerisms!
British people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they?
I think that's just these two, Mr. Sato. I called it SDFC, I pronounced Sufta C. Sufta C, I like that. Is that everything? Well, there's the door. Oh, I already... Okay, that counts as, this. I was saving Gregsy for last, but I guess that's not that. The door! This door doesn't want to open.
Yeah. Looks like it's got a pretty hefty lock on it.
There's a specialist locksmith on his way here from the yard. My god, is it Astarion? Best lockpicker in the world. That man is an object! Completely empty, yes.
Rawr.
Rawr! You know what? I once rolled... I say that, Astarion is like the champion lockpicker of all time. I have so many bonuses for him and everything. But yesterday while I was playing, he rolled 2 nat 1s in a row while trying to pick a lock. And I was so mad. But yeah, don't touch the door. With permission, Inspector, I could have that lock open in less than a minute. Well, you don't have permission. And no one's given it to you. Oh, look at him, he looks so sad. Gregsy, you made him sad. Gregson looked as man. I had a horrible cursed thought regarding Astarion's lockpicking skills. Me when Astarion rolls a nat 1 to lockpick. Girl, what do I even pay you for? Yeah, give the man a lock to pick just to play with it. Marina's conversation while playing Reverse 1999 is such a freaking moment. How is Reverse 1999? Cause I don't know if I have like the brain power or attention for another gacha game, but a lot of people are saying it's really good. How is it? Best lockpicker. My bard has a plus 23! Whoa! Sheesh! Nat ones aren't yeah. The first time I ever tried using my Illithid worm powers, where I needed a 2 to succeed, I rolled a nat 1. That was fun. Bard moment. Ooh boy.
Well, there's no sound of anybody on the other side.
Roguish bard, uh-huh. No, Drebber must have fled at the first sign of danger. What the hell?
Oh.
Oh no. Who is in there? Is something wrong, Mr. Sato?
Well, I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door.
Is someone locked in there?
Well, Gina, did you hear it too?
It's really good, especially the lore. Instead of Return to the Past, it's Return to the Future. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I heard it, Noel. What do you reckon, Toby? Bark, bark!
Yes, so true! Right, mind the grease. Yeah, he's like, yeah, suddenly we don't care about the locks anymore. We're going back to the future, indeed. Always listen to Puppy. Puppy knows all. Very true.
There's a puppy! Yes, there's a puppy! His name is Toby. Different from Toby Gregson.
What was in that open yep? Oh, open yep, what? This is Scotland Yard. They have absconded. Interesting.
Oh my, someone is in there.
Is that Enoch, mayhaps? This rotten bleeding lock? My dear Gregson, as I said only minutes ago, if only it were countenanced, I could unlock that door in less than a minute. Fine, I'll take the rap for it. Just get through that blasted door. Done. There. You may enter at will. Bro rolled a nat 20 there. It's rude to interrupt someone while they are squeaking and clunking. Yeah! It's a different type of zoomies. Confusing minutes with seconds, I think. Time is of the essence, I feel. What are we waiting for? Nothing for it, I suppose. This is an emergency. Gonna have to go get breakfast. No worries, Banana! There's a strong possibility that behind that door is the engineer you all seek. If it's fucking Kazuma. I keep expecting Kazuma to be everywhere I go, I see his face. Even if it's hidden by a mask. Yeah. Puppy. As opposed to Banui, yes. Oh god, dynamite! Oh my god! The squeaking in the that was probably the safe with the noise. Ryu is fucking crazy! Man. Why is everything upside down?
Rats, there ain't no one in here after all.
He did a I watched this stuff. Hey, it's fine. Did he do, he did an anti-gravity experiment.
But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard the noises.
Maybe that was the sound of Drebber running away. Is he hidden in the safe?
But there's only one door in this room.
He either went out the window or he's inside the safe slowly suffocating. And no windows that could afford an escape route. This skylights are too high. Foot. Feet. Blow me. Who are you directing that to, Gregsy? Yeah, oh my god, it's Spider-Man! Spider-Man is coming to Ace Attorney! If Cosmo was still there, I'd have no doubt that he'd gotten to that stage soon! What? Alright, Gregsy. Well, you looking at Sholmes when you said that? Because, looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry.
Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints.
To what? To the Professor Airbrain's balmy machine, is it? Blimey, if we had these, there'd be no need to muck about trying to investigate all that scrap metal. Greglock's so real, yes! There is something of great interest here, too. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope?
He climbed up there.
There's a green balloon. Ooh. Gregson voice. Fuck me. He says, looking as an that is an order. I think you should have been allowed to say fuck there. Agreed, yeah. I think Gregson should be allowed to curse. People climbing on the walls makes Greg vulnerable. I think it's a common nautical term for being surprised. Yeah, not the I know, but it's very easy to take things out of context in Ace Attorney. Starting with, you think I won't be able to get you off like 10 minutes into the first case of this game, so. You see, but you do not observe, Mr. Norohodo.
We must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before the forensic investigation team arrive too.
Feet. There's no denying it, is there? They're footprints. Wall climbing.
Yes, it would appear so. And I simply can't imagine how they came to be there.
I deny everything. I'm putting out what he talked about with Shirichi. You're not talking about the love hotel scene, are you? Because I like to forget that exists. Isn't there a Susato shoot-up or something? Like a Susato takedown?
I'm no Wonder Woman, Mr. Norohodo.
That'll
Crotch
make her-
thin and built for speed, so
That's how he got out with his clothes. The crotch area is thin and built for speed. That's how he escaped. Nothing of that sort. Green balloon. That's a really lovely model. It just looks like a real flying balloon.
I think it's probably staying aloft on the same principle as a full-sized balloon using gas.
A green flying balloon. It does have the hallmarks of that amazing deception at the Great Exhibition, doesn't it? Yeah, gotta keep the crotch area thin, yep. Could it be that the whole thing was planned here in this very workshop? It was workshopped in here. What's this? Want that to happen to the entire team before? Oh wait, nothing there? Oops. Here.
Almost every piece of furniture is upside down.
Even Mr. Shulman's suite isn't ever this much of a mess.
You're in no position to comment on mess, Mr. Norohodo.
But I suppose it's not quite the same thing, is it? I mean, it's not messy in here per se, it's that everything is literally upside down.
But why?
You know what they did here, actually? This might be super, super niche or whatever. I used to have this Fairly Odd Parents GameCube game. I think it was called like Breaking the Rules or something like that. Whatever. But there was like different stages where you had to get like different like things and stuff. There was one level where you could get like a room inverter thingy and flip the ceiling and the floor and everything. That's what this guy invented. He invented a room flipinator and used that. So yeah. Anyways. Miriam's here? Wait, who's Miriam? Should I know who Miriam is? Breaking the world. Yes! Oh god, I miss Kiryu. I miss the other Kazuma. Not this one, because this one didn't. The other Kazuma didn't abandon me. Yes, friendship ended with Kazuma Asogi. Now Kazuma Kiryu is my best friend. Oh yeah, that's how he got in the air. He just flipped the whole room upside down. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before. A Bloodstained Ritual of the Night? I don't actually know that. Mrs. Sato, what's the matter?
That's surely that's a time bomb, isn't it?
What? Did you say? Can we get out of this room? Have we been locked in here?
A time bomb?
The murderer, according to the... Oh, not the murdered one? Sorry, but... What is a time bomb exactly? You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo! You really are. I won't take that as a compliment.
Ah, you don't know nothing, do ya, Odo?
You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. But if this particular specimen isn't... this particular is no time bomb, they're similar. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank goodness. But then what is it?
I see. So that's it.
Goodness, Mr. Sholmes. Have you seen to the heart of the matter?
There are times when I consider my lot most unfair. For I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. What is a time bomb? Yeah. But I have learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Mrs. Sato. Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Drebber himself.
Oh, but how could you?
And the second conclusion is that this small device on the floor there, without question, is completely genuine.
Please, Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything.
It would be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. Man, they took his fucking eyes again! Well, Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea anyway.
Oh, you deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done.
You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Mr. Sato.
Oh, yes, I'd be delighted.
So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. The game is afoot! And there's a foot on the ceiling, too! Dance time! Ooh, punchies!
Aw, she's so excited.
It's plain to see this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table and the chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight onto the floor.
Every item in the room was on the ceiling? Are you suggesting that?
Indeed, the key here is gravity. Ooh, look at him strutting like that! Ooh! It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth. For the gravity in this room was reversed, then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness.
I no longer believe in gravity. Time bombs wait for cutscene, thankfully. Yep. The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about this part the gravity played in the whole business. I saw flowers behind there. I quite understand your skepticism, Mrs. Sato. I too was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day. Bruh.
But why does it have a clock on it?
A most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything here has been turned upside down is because of this anti-gravity device. So you see, we need look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. The direction in which gravity acts here was reversed by Mr. Drebber before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. She's just concerned now. Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads.
Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of this nearby skylight. Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way into this room, excepting the skylight, that is.
Ah.
Whee! By inverting the gravity in here, Drebber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way.
But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up onto the ceiling rather violently?
Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope.
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. How do the British pronounce via? Is it via or via? And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun.
Just for funsies.
Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle.
Aw, baby. What do you think about that deduction, Toby? What does the puppy have to say?
She's completely spellbound. Mr. Sholmes, there is just one thing that troubles me. I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean? I would say with that man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. And you didn't believe that's possible. But your whole deduction hinges on it. Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, however improbable it may seem. Huh. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had Iris come up with that exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yes, I have a feeling I've read it in something that Miss Susato lent me once. Ooh, Susato objection!
Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, the spell is broken at last. The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it? Indeed it was, in the lonely coils near the wall. Susato objection! Yes! She's still the lawyer! But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall? Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find do ropes. And as evidence as such, you need only look at the mystery we faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled. That argument is as circular as the coils of a rope.
I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth.
Yes, you're right. We must do it quickly, before Enoch Drebber gets too far away. If you're ready, then let us resume. Enoch Sholmes, logic and reasoning spectacular. All right. Okay. Everything is flipped. On the ceiling before falling.
Every item in the room on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that?
Indeed. Gravity! Whee! Look at him strutting! Reversed and restored. Inverted furniture.
To think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation.
But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so...
Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once.
Oh, that's unusually merciless of you, Miss Susato. She is a woman of science.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he?
While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices.
Yes, I suppose so.
Alrighty. Let's see what else. Here. Inverted furniture. What is this vase? Oh yeah, the vase is upright. That thing is not inverted. I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure. Can we give those to Kazuma in court tomorrow?
Look at that!
I know.
That slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are thriving!
Somehow it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say? I love you, Ryunosuke.
To be honest, Mr. Naruhodo, something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me.
Take that!
The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you've surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps? No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes, trust me. As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down. This unassuming slender vase is standing keenly to attention. Vase. How do the British pronounce their words? And unlike the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me. The gravity in this room was never averted at all! Vase. Okay. My deepest sympathies for your loss. Science took an L today. Look at him staring at the camera like that.
Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes.
But the show must go on, so let us continue! This. Now that we know this contrivance is not, in fact, an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Quite, and naturally there is an explanation. Alright. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he? Being posh, especially, shall I say. More casual is vase.
I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong.
Well, there's no doubt somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason.
I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though.
Is somebody hiding? Ooh, looking for the safe combination. They knew there was a safe combination underneath some furniture, huh? 432582. As in safe and secure? Are you being deliberately obtuse, buddy?
As in secure lockable box, I think.
Admittedly more likely.
Well, there is a large safe bolted to the floor on the other side of the room, so yes.
So you mean this number would let us open it?
I wonder why it's written here, though.
Take that!
Enoch is inside the vase, isn't he? Because, the squeaking and the noise. Why did my frame rate just die? Sorry. The reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Norhodo, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not?
Yes, last year. When I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book just in case.
That's it. But people are forgetful souls at heart and always make a written note of important information.
Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think.
And what pray happened next, Mr. Norhodo? On the day of the draw came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in and had to turn my rune upside down to find it. He's so ADHD, yeah! That's it! But people are forgetful souls at heart and always forget where they've noted things down.
Not if you always note things in the same place.
I actually won the second prize, you know. Were you able to redeem your prize? But I couldn't remember which magazine I slipped it. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo, but I believe I've proved my point now. Oh, his eyes, just like a... God, he's so silly. Which is that a very similar scenario is clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. What if it's the professor in there? He remembered he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one. Leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Drebber overturned all the furniture in here in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. Yeah. He's inside the safe, I'm sure. Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads.
Yeah, how's it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
The question of sounds will lead us neatly to the truth. Footprints on the ceiling? She's so disappointed.
Well, if a change in direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get there?
Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve.
I can't think of any other way to explain it at all. Oh, life was so much simpler in those halcyon days where gravity could be reversed.
It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place.
Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail.
Alrighty. Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us into these situations. Balloon! Shoe! Balloon or shoe? He threw the shoe up there! It's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up there, look!
Oh, yes! And there are more footprints on this little balloon, too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became lodged, do you think?
If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling, though? Maybe was there like a bug on the ceiling or something, and they were just trying to like get it down?
Take that!
The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of a nearby shoe. And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon.
But for what purpose?
A green balloon. That seems somewhat familiar data. Is this a test run of whatever chicanery he was gonna pull off?
It was a piece of a green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene.
And inside the green balloon that Mr. Gotts claims he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was the second birdcage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception.
You mean to say?
If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there is a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But the balloon's out of reach. Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. But it got stuck. Most probably, Dreba intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights.
Oh dear. We desperately need to examine that balloon. Only there was some way.
You're tall, Sholmes. Can't you quite get it? Or like one of you can you sit on Gregson's shoulders and get to it? You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. The rope. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope?
Mr. Sholmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope.
Alright, I have to admit that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down on the ground?
Which is much easier said than done, I feel. And could take us a very long time as well.
True, perhaps we need a more surefire method. We're just gonna shoot it. Pew! This is exactly what happened the other day, too. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow?
That was found at the scene, in fact.
And in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Drebber. If the man had only brought it away with him that day, he could have avoided losing his shoe at such a critical time as this. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside that balloon? So no head. I think we found. Well, I had a feeling this is our wax thief because the glass. A waxwork. Hey, girl. A waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. So we can't see the face inside, that means. Can't you pick the lock?
Just a moment, this is the head of a waxwork model. Does that mean... oh, goodness.
I see you've joined the dots, Mrs. Otto. Excellent. Of course, a headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Tuspel's model that you've largely solved, it was only the head of the killer that was still missing. Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Tuspel's will now have to settle his sizable account with me. Baldur's Gate voice. Lockpicking impossible, yep. It's got the arcane lock on it. Hello, Hogu, welcome! I am very much enjoying this case, and I'm also kind of losing my mind at, the whole... thing. The whole I want to punch him! Can I punch him in courtroom tomorrow, please? I want to punch him in court. With a fist and then a mouth.
But why is it here?
He wanted to conceal the identity of the professor, unless Enoch is the professor and faked his death. This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tuspel's and returning it sans tête earlier today was none other than Enoch Drebber. This is incredible. Professor Hairbrain's case and the waxwork abduction they're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop. Can we open the safe? Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is to speak with the architect of this adventure. Oh, new music! New strings! We didn't have the strings like this before! Can I inspect anything on this? The lock? Is our key inside the safe, maybe? This lock does look very strong, doesn't it? There is definitely no way you could remove the mask yourself that was put on you.
What a terrible way to treat someone, even a convicted criminal.
I know, it's starting to make me livid, actually.
Mr. Naruhodo, please.
I mean, just think about it.
Imagine if you had an itch on your cheek all of a sudden. You'd be utterly helpless.
Priorities.
Well, yes, that's true. But I'm not sure that warrants quite so much anger.
It can be really annoying!
Itchers who can't scratch are very annoying.
Alright, is that the only thing I can look at? Alright.
The architect?
You mean Mr. Drebber? As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights, obviously the man must still be here in the room. And his location should be abundantly clear if you simply reflect on the journey we made together during this deduction. Look, he's glancing. So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be...
Take that!
How is he breathing in there? Can air even get in there? Before we gain access to this back room, we heard noises from in here. Yep. Which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time. He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe. And pressed for time, made no attempt to right the furniture he overturned in the process, from which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber... Are you sure if he's not, that would be really morbid. Is at this very moment inside the safe. Thus concludes Herlock Sholm's great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Deduction dudes! We did it! The deduction dudes did it. I can't believe I literally just thought of that name for them now. I haven't been calling them that this whole time. I'm disappointed in myself. So, Mr. Naruhodo. I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you? By opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see, the combination was 1.
432582.
I knew that! I swear to God. Looks like a robot. You found me. What's the Ooh, look at him. Are we sure he's not an automaton? What? What the fuck is he doing? What was that? What was that? Man, that was a whole dance number. He is so cunty, yeah, he is slaying. Right then, sir, Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume. I need to look like this, you know what? I get it. Correct. You better start talking. You tricked Professor Hairbrain with that bogus machine you built.
And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Two Spells as well.
He is very gender. Look at him. K-pop girly. Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions. What was that? Whoa! Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first. Deactivate? Your parcel? The bomb. I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position. Yeah, the bomb. I hope to look like that by 40 minus with the steampunk prosthetics. I think that would be cool if but I don't want to lose any. Second instance of man in box. Wait, was there another man in a box? I mean, I know we had Ryunosuke in the wardrobe. Was there another man in a box in this game that I'm forgetting about? Oh, it was Ryunosuke. Okay, yeah. Ah, I see. Oh yeah, in the suitcase. Yeah, I forgot he was in the suitcase too. Stunned silence. You dancing? I think him and William Shamspeare should have a dance-off. I think Drebber might win, honestly. You're all gearing up to die with me, then. Damn. His yes, those animations! Like, it's literally like, it's like he's part robot, and I love it.
Mr. Sholmes, with only 7 seconds to spare.
That was too close for comfort. I've got 1 foot in the grave already. I love men in box. Me too. Are you trying to help us get a killer or get us killed?
Mr. Sholmes' seductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
Well, my dear fellows, that was... Maybe if he's an automaton, that's why he didn't asphyxiate in there. Because he doesn't need to breathe. And my CPUs are just being weird again. Yeah. Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist.
I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. Hey, this belonged to my living boyfriend. It might surprise you to learn that I'm actually a lawyer from the Empire of Japan. I detest lawyers. They wield so-called special powers in an attempt to grind down our freedoms. Yes, let me be quite clear. He's got some eyebrows. I detest lawyers very much. Any chance 2 negatives make a positive? Look at, this is you, isn't it? Oh, he doesn't have anything to say about that. This theme, yes. Do you have anything to say about this picture of yourself? Nope. Are they supposed to be some sort of answer? Man, this is a banger. What on earth happened in here? You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Well, yeah, you are. Ooh, all right. Phrasing. Everything in here is precisely what it seems. Yeah, we'll be giving it a thorough going over, don't you worry, Drebber? What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. Yeah, no need but so much what? When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt.
Whistling?
Ah, that would have been me. Oh, of course it was. Of course it was Shelmsy. For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today. Oh my god. This clown. No words, just tightly squeezed chips. Clearly I must have a screw loose though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down. We also found a rope over by the wall. Yes, I'd hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So, I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe. And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters. And after that you hid yourself in the safe, having first set this parcel ticking. Well, I had no intention. Yeah, don't screw me down or nail me. Jeez. I love that you can take so much out of context here. Alright. Got a death wish, have ya? Hide him right beside a ticking time bomb. I'm an animation of oh my god. Please, Why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it. So in fact, the safe was the only safe place. Precisely.
Once you climb inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again.
I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. I mean, normally you don't put living people in safes, so it's kind of weird that that's there. Did you anticipate having to hide in it? I do need to add a gem. I do, I really do. I had always intended to blow this place to smithereens in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans. Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up? No, that was unforeseen. What do you mean? Like a wah-wah? Yeah, I do need like a, yeah. Most people run, you see. Boom, boom, that's the closest one we got. When they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But you see, your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works. We're not normal people. We're not normal men. We're not innocent men! I wait the day we can, yeah. Oh my god. You want a point redeeming me saying that? Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face? Besides the usual eyes, ears, nose. You got your eyes back! You were missing your eyes earlier today. I'm so happy you got them back, though. He does give Minnie to the robot. I think he invented the robot. It was invented by a British person. He got his eyes! He got his eyes! I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. But what about the two incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Harebrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition, and the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. Going to bed because it's 2 a.m. in school? Good night! Get some rest! That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. So did Madame Two-Spell put that on? So would she know the true identity of the killer? I've been considering carrying it around as protection. Hey! What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here. Yes, well, Dr. Scythe again. Rawr, hey. So the forensic investigator. Rawr. So that means Van Zeeks is here, right? Which also means that he is here, right? And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. Handshaking. Who's Dr. Weaver? I don't know that. Are you unless you're saying Gale? Is that Gale? Dr. Weave? You lot, leave at once. My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. She is very... Oh, Courtney Scythe? Do you mean like Scythe as in like Reaper? The Reaper of the Bailey Scythe? After all, there's no way to greet an old acquaintance. Another one of your exes, yup. Jeez. He is hooked up with like everyone that he works with here. Why does he know everyone indeed? Hello, Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe? He knows everyone, literally. That's so dad of him, isn't it? To just know somebody everywhere. Oh, she's from Trauma Center. Oh yeah, I think you said that actually. Yeah, you mentioned that. I forgot, sorry. Sherlock Holmes, hot girl, it's hot girl summer, yes! If it's protected suspecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell. Get out! But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. He respects women's wishes. What a feminist. Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Sholmes. His dad lore is so extensive. Typo in the Twitch chat! Oh, that's a character. Oh, okay. It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. Well, Mr. Sholmes, is he outside this room? Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands. I said get out! Now! All of you! Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. Understood. Tip's hat. Understood, milady. But I'll say just one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd have never found this place. And the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. I want her to. Yeah. If I get the chance, I might have to, yeah. Another one for the massive backlog. There was a time bomb set in here that this lot disarmed. Inspector, oh my god, he's actually going to bat for us. Did Gina not come into this room? Has she just been outside the whole time? Alright. He does have the Coricchio laugh. Wow. Hello Jesse, how are you doing? Yeah, the doctor's I mean, the professor already headed off. Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Drebber? So sorry, didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. Cut above the rest. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Is there another trap? Oh, there she is. There she is now. Yes, you did disarm that one. Oh, is he bullshitting? Doing good? Oh my god, that's great, Jesse, nice. Is that what you want? It'd be even funner if they didn't even know each other, they just acted like they did. There's no way to treat an old acquaintance. I've literally never seen you before. That would be even funnier. I love that. God, God, I love both interpretations.
Eh? What here? That one? You mean?
Oh my god! I like seeing. Okay, Ash. Oh, this one at the here. Boom! It was an hour later that we heard the news of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever. And well, I guess we're not gonna know. Look out for random bobbies. No! Random bobbies! No! Just nameless NPCs. Man. Yeah, daylight savings means it happened instantaneously, actually. Man. Alright, well, we're going to trial, which means we're gonna see him. We're gonna see him. I'm gonna run to the bathroom first. Is this picture still appropriate? Cause, I don't know! Are we really doing it for him anymore? Like, does he deserve to have it done for him? Anyway, I'll be back! I miss my wife tales, I'll be back! Are you serious? I come back to this song playing. Are you freaking serious? This Spotify. Why? I just put on a daily mix on Spotify. I put on one of my daily mixes and it was all video game music, and I'm so upset. At least it's not Nocturne. I've deliberately avoided listening to Nocturne. I don't think I'll ever be able to, like... I swear to God, if they play Nocturne when he takes off his fucking mask, I am going to die. Anyway, let's do this! Let's go see him! Let's go see him! It gets worse. Good morning to you, Mr. Naruhodo! Good morning, Professor. Ready for today's proceedings? I hope so. I should be. Even I, with nothing left to— Oh yeah. Sorry about your baby. Well, I guess is it your baby if you didn't build it, but... Yeah, hi Al. Hi Al. Oh my god, Shulms is actually here on time? It's an opposite day or something? Why, naturally, a true gentleman stands shoulder to shoulder with his friends in battle at all times. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'll see you later then. Now, Professor, we really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today. Yes, do try your hardest not to enter the witness stand uninvited again. Yes, I will! I realize it was a mistake, but my dear fellows, I must interject! This is even funnier when he does this. Doing this sprite without smiling. He's just like, what the fuck? Surely you've overlooked some praise, have you not? To be cast in my direction, Alright, Praise King. Must I spell it out? I, the great Herlock Sholmes, the greatest detective of worldwide acclamation, arose at some ungodly hour to be here now, first thing in the morning. A miracle, you must agree. Yeah, he was just like, bruh. Well, if I must agree, then... As you know, my sleep is quite impregnable. Iris had to employ her full gamut of tactics. She pulled the covers off, shook me, poked both cheeks, punched me, and kicked me from the bed. Saying the choir part out loud. Hey, sorry, me at my 8 a.m. mood. Me getting up at 7 a.m. to work. Me. Then she poured a boiling cup of her latest experimental blend on my face, and at last I was bestirred. Oh my, Iris has been busy. Iris killed me this morning. Yeah, good for her. Iris doesn't have it in her to go that far. She's too nice. Ah, I sense the spirit of a fellow scientist, one who relishes the infinite possibilities of blending tea. I'm the one worthy of praise here, not Iris. This is my perfect victory. I win! Oh my god, wait, it's November. And it's November, which means November 2020 is when I watched Death Note for the first time. And this game made me experience... This game is giving me the closest emotional experience to Death Note that I think I've had. Because, hello. Mid-November is when I got to episode 25, and I knew what was gonna happen. Despite... I was spoiled, like, 7 years before watching the show.
I'll take a potato chip.
Thank you! Oh my god, Light! Thank you, Light! Hello. She poured the tea like that one girl to buy. But what was I gonna say? Yeah. It hurt to even think about that character. And to even think about their death. And I kind of had a similar reaction to Kazuma, honestly. You're Kira! Sorry to cut in. Oh, Inspector Gregson. Oh my god, you're so Eddie. Imagine being Kinesine Light Yakubi in a Twitch chat! Oh my god. Suffering. Inspector Gregson, good morning. Oh my god, there's our potato chips! We have our potato chips now too! I know they're not technically potato chips in the same sense as they are in the light scene, but you know what I mean, same idea. Gregson, my dear fellow, why the grim expression at this delightful early hour? They are just chips, yeah. But they are potatoes, right? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I've been confronted with a grimmer expression, Until eat them indeed. Dear me, are you going to take that insult lying down, Professor? Oh my god, Can you not do this in public, please? What? I don't know! Poor Professor. Yeah, we don't call Chris by the wrong name. Oh yeah, Chris or the American name of chips, yeah. Okay. Anyway, here's the paperwork you'd asked for. Still fried potatoes, I guess. But... I took the liberty of requesting it yesterday. I have a feeling it may prove useful. I, feel nervous going into this to see him. You wouldn't believe the hoops I had to jump through to get this bot out of the archives. It's the professor's autopsy report. Oh, the professor's. Who killed 5 members of the aristocracy. He was found guilty in a closed trial 10 years ago now. It was all done under wraps. And he was quickly executed soon after the trial. It's all in here. Okay. Did they just go by one name? Because there's 10 asterisks. Courtney Stevens. That's not Courtney Scythe. Or unless she, married and has a different last name now? Because Courtney. Is this the same Courtney? What if she's the professor? I don't know! I guess we'll find out everything later on. Yes, much obliged, Gregson. Us lowly lot at the yard are just doing what we can, in the shadow of the great Detective Sholmes, of course. Alrighty. I feel sick. I'm so scared. Well, I guess not scared. I don't know if scared's the right word. I need to see him again, and I'm so nervous as to how it's gonna go down. Well then, Professor Hairbrain, this is it. Today we're gonna lay all this to rest at last.
I wish you the best of luck, Professor.
I suppose he'll be in there today, will he? Drebber.
Yes, we expect the prosecution to summon him as a witness.
Prepare yourself for the sprites ever. The sprites ever? I'm still amazed that you managed to find him in just one day. It was all thanks to Toby. I really owe you both so much. Counsel and the defendant. I actually feel so nervous. My stomach is turning. This is it then, the final chapter. Funny, my heart, same. I've not felt this before, because he's gonna be in the courtroom, probably! Yeah! Something involving him! Shout out to Pubby! Yay, he's the true MVP of this case. The only thing that really matters. Finding the truth. Is Cosmo gonna pass Van Zeeks his wine glasses and everything? I swear to God, I am going to lose my goddamn mind. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I have declared this court to be in session! Hello! We're resuming the public hearing of Albert Hairbrain here present who stands accused of murder. On the counsel of prosecution and defense. He has already got his wine. The bottle's already there, and he's already decaped. What, can they both not wear a cape? I hope to God Kazuma does the same slutty cape toss as Van Zeeks, cause if he's an apprentice of Van Zeeks, stripping the cape in the courtroom is part of his whole shtick. So he's gotta learn from the doer himself. No foreplay this time. Yeah, he's already ready to go. You're staring. As promised, Lord Van Zees has his apprentice with him. His apprentice with memory loss. I don't buy that. If I may, Lord Van Zeeks. Yes, my lord. That deep breath, yes, he's like, I love it, it's so good. There appears to be someone standing at your side. I didn't realize you were associated with other people. Oh, yes, my apprentice and assistant. The prosecution, oh, his chalice is there, I see. The prosecution believes today's proceedings will see the complexity of this case rise considerably. All right.
Are you fucking serious? Are you? You just.
He is not making any effort to hide his identity from Ryunosuke now. Like, who else could do that? He doesn't. Yeah. I mean, that was pretty hot. Can we watch that again? Like, that was pretty sexy. I therefore instructed my assistant to attend to ensure the smooth running of the trial. You're training him well, I see. He sheathed a Western-style sword like a katana. Yeah. And the smooth running of liquid refreshments by the look of it.
The way he holds himself, the way he moves. It couldn't be anyone else.
Give me strength. I just asked him for strength. You across the aisle, give me strength. But he's still suffering from amnesia. Those are those. No, I don't buy that. I think that's bullshit.
Oh, this is so very hard.
Yeah, muscle memory. I mean, yeah, muscle memory, but still. The way he, I know, I lose my mind at the. Would you hear the prosecution has done a fine job in responding to the demands of the court yesterday? I understand you successfully. You didn't do shit to get the engineer. We did all that. Yeah. I need to rein myself in. Kazuma fucking Asogi is ruining my life in ways that I did not even think possible. He ruined it by dying, and now he's making it worse! Yes, my lord, I intend to call him as a witness shortly. Very good, very good. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this courtroom today. Are you ready and willing to proceed? Of course, my lord. Cheers for all drink to the hi, free fries, hi. I'm having many feelings about him. Is he still question mark in the court record? Okay. Hi. Should we all understand the importance of doing our civic duty? I do
Adachi
so.
baby.
Alright, Adachi baby. Kazuma baby. Asogi baby. I do so despise deception and deceit. I find it so very wearying. To take a man's life with a conjuring trick, it is against the magician's code, not to mention the law. Yeah, the magician's code is more important than the law, of course. Anything scientist should feel the wrath of God, if you ask me.
We have to listen to what's said on both sides of the fence and settle on one. That's it, innit?
Wasn't like this in my day, it wasn't like this at all. Came for the masked disciple shenanigans, thank you. I want to grab masked disciple and just like throw him. If all parties are ready to proceed, you may begin, Lord Van Zeeks. Before I do, my lord, there is a report I must read to the court. Oh my god, that bow. Okay, don't advance the text, but was he wearing something similar to this? I saw the straps across the front, the cape lifted, the little straps across the front. If he is wearing something similar to this, I am going to bash my head against a wall. If he is wearing a princely outfit, Shu Takumi, count your days! Anyways, rivals to lovers, yay! Oh my god. Anyways, what did he say? Oh yeah, the evidence went boom. Delivery destroyed explosion, affected by an unknown person or persons. It was what? An explosion! This is an outrage! Yeah, lovers to rivals to lovers. Aww. Yes, I heard this grave news yesterday. Scotland Yard submitted a report to my office in the evening. I read the machine was blasted to smithers and the wreckage reduced to ashes in the flames. Is a phoenix gonna rise from it? Is it gonna be like a phoenix and come back? I have here a photographic print of the scene taken in the wake of the explosion. Hole! It shows what little remains of the machine. Yes, a terrible business. He did it to destroy the evidence, did he? Jimdy forgetting Mike Wazowski in the car. Yeah, he did get the Mike Wazowski. Yeah, he just I hope all the evidence pops up over his face. Because I mentioned Akechi, guess what? What about Akechi? Is there some sort of... Phoenixes weren't invented yet, hence why someone else can revive. Makes sense. The day of this tribal's... Honey comes home on
Hello, LGBTQ community.
I can't do this! I can't do this! I can't do this! This is Honey I'm Home Day? Are you joking? I don't know how I've not, like, burst into flames at this point. I have to make everything about Goro Akechi, and I'm gonna have to start making everything about Kazuma Sogi once I finish this game too, so, yeah! Anyways, the court will take this prince as evidence. We have evidence, yeah. The whole boom, yeah. Late yesterday afternoon, the protection afforded to the machine by the special dispensation beside the was revoked. However, before a thorough investigation could begin, why did my voice just crack? The invention was obliterated from existence. RIP. As such, I hope he's teaching Kazuma how to do his fruity points. Falling to the knees in the kitchen. I need to see Kazuma do a fruity point like that. I need to see this so badly. It's become a very different trial. He needs to be so much cuntier than before. I mean, he already kind of is, I guess, with the sword wine, and then just this whole kind of this whole look, I guess, the mask and everything. That is kind of cunty already. But as it stands now, with no evidence. Oh my god! I mean, no, Grota. No, wait, we can't know. Indeed, a most unfortunate state of affairs. However, one thing remains clear. The victim's death was a result of the actions of the accused. Of that we can be certain. Or it was the accused himself who was operating the machine and who ultimately caused its loss of control. As Lord Van Zakes rightfully says, this is a very different trial now. The accused accepts responsibility for his part in the events that transpired. He acknowledges that Mr. Assman died as a result of the accident caused by his machine's malfunction. However, unbeknownst to the professor, he is being deliberately deceived by a pair of very clever fraudsters. I wonder what Kazuma thinks seeing. Obviously, Ryunosuke is wearing. We can pretend he's wearing his badge because DLC outfit, you know. And the sword. What do you think he thinks seeing? Even when he first saw him in the prosecutor's office, in Van Zeek's office, he would have been wearing the armband and carrying the sword. What do you think he was thinking in that moment? He was like, oh shit, he really cares about me. Hi, I'm happy to be bisexual. Hi, we're having many feelings. Gay thoughts, yeah, he was thinking gay thoughts. The engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, and the victim himself, Mr. Odie Assman. So what exactly were these two men up to behind the defendant's back? The defense intends to expose that information, thus establishing the unequivocal innocence. I can't even speak, I'm like so overwhelmed. Thank you, counsels. The positions of the prosecution and defense have been clearly stated. Who up having gay thoughts? Who isn't? Lord Van Zeeks, summon your first witnesses, please. At once, my lord. Please, I need him to do the point. The prosecution calls the engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to the stand. Man, so many people are serving this courtroom today. The two people on the prosecutor's side and then this guy. State your name and occupation for the court. Name, Enoch Drebber. Occupation. Hard to pin down, I would say. Well, he's talked about being screwed and then being nailed, and now he's talking about being pinned down. Yeah. To-do list! Oh my god. Your file indicates that you are currently being investigated in connection with another case. The theft of a waxwork model, is it? A most extraordinary sounding business. But that has no bearing on this trial, I assure you. Cleave it from your mind. You're familiar with the public experiment carried out at the Great Exhibition some days ago. My favorite weird guy! Yes, he's here! The accused super high voltage instantaneous kinesis demonstration. Yes, you could say that. Oops, it was my invention. Oops, I clicked too fast. I am aware of it. There was a terrible accident, wasn't there? That's a fucking Prince outfit. It was you, Mr. Drebber, who constructed the vast machine. We already established that it's not a beak. We've already established that this is a snake and not like a beak. But if he's wearing a mask with a sort of pointy nose, and then the white princely sort of outfit. It was you, Mr. Drebber, who constructed the vast machine used in the experiment. Minakechi is a snake, true, but he's my snake. He's my snake and I love him. And maybe Kazuma's a snake too! I don't know! Or so our investigations indicate. Can you confirm? What if he's just faking his amnesia to somehow get out of his special mission? He, like, didn't want to do this mission or whatever. Maybe it's not to assassinate Van Zeeks, but he's like, you know, I want to go study law, but, like, I don't want to do this thing that I have to do, so I'm gonna fake my death, and then just sneak on over anyway and pretend I don't know anything. You know what? I think that's very cool of him if that's the case. Yes, I constructed it in precise accordance with the blueprints, but that's all. The court would be very interested to hear your thoughts about the machine, I'm sure. I need him and Shamspear in a dance-off. An amazing device, if you ask me. The pinnacle of modern science, making instantaneous kinesis a reality at last. What? Good gracious! Do you mean to say that the experiment was bona fide? Is that your belief, sir? Yes, that is very much my belief. Such a waste that it blew up. As if you did it yourself, dude. But we've already established the machine was nothing more than a prop for an elaborate conjuring trick.
Objection!
Oh, sorry. I was about to say, where'd he go? But he is getting Mike Wazowski'd by Van Zeke's broad shoulders. Are her shoulders actually that broad, or is it just like the padding? You have established nothing of the sort. All that was shown during yesterday's proceedings is that the same outcome could have been produced by means of stage trickery. The defense merely proposed a method and demonstrated its feasibility, nothing more. But we have procrastinated long enough, I feel. Witness, you will now give your formal testimony about the machine that you constructed for the purpose of the demonstration of the Great Exhibition. Understood. I met the young professor approximately 1 year. Why are you calling him professor? That's not the professor, no. Through Mr. Assman's introduction. He provided me with the blueprints and I constructed the machine to his precise specifications. It was no trick. If the whole show was a fraud, it would have required a body double. Tell me, did the victim have a twin? All the spectators saw the birdcage appear above their heads and then crash headfirst into the crystal tower. A terrible accident, I grant you. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow. Body double, wax. A body double? That goes without saying, surely. Didn't we discuss this possibility in court yesterday? To give the impression that something has moved when in reality it hasn't. It's a basic conjuring principle. The deception cannot be achieved without submitting the original with a fake at some point in the performance. I misread you said substituting. Yeah, my bad. But would I be right in saying you haven't managed to establish anything along those lines? Incidentally, the prosecution has already confirmed that Mr. Assman has no twin siblings. It's my understanding that this witness is well versed in conjuring awfulness. But such talents do not indicate he was actually able to accomplish what he claims. Namely, the construction of what, by all accounts, must have been an extremely complex scientific machine. Whatever do you mean? Yesterday's proceedings brought the true nature of your past exploits to light, Mr. Drebber. Boob man confirmed to not exist. Shame. Indeed it immaterial. As a swindler who preys on innocent scientists to elicit government grant money through conjuring know-how. Yes, it's true that I possess considerable knowledge of stage magic. But crucially, my scientific knowledge more than matches that of any academic in the field. Investigation of the witness's workshop attests to that claim, my lord. As evidence, the police found this Royal Society trophy for young talent in science there. He's a monster who makes for money. He's a monster who makes for money!
Yes, that's true. We spotted it there ourselves.
If a hypothesis is sound, it can always be forged into a physical manifestation with sufficient skill. Though I may have sold the secrets of some deceptive wiles to sniveling, talentless scientists in the past. Would you therefore assert that the explosion of the machine was an unfortunate accident, or, of course, a deliberate act of murder carried out by misuse of the science? Counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please.
Hold it!
That's it, Mr. We literally just said he wasn't.
Objection!
Perhaps my learned friend wasn't listening earlier. Mr. Assman had no twin siblings. No, I heard you before. But the thread of hope hadn't quite left me.
The demonstration could have been a trick if there was somebody who looked sufficiently like the victim. The doctor's sight absolutely ruled that out as a possibility.
It is beyond question that the victim himself, Mr. Assman, did move from the stage to the Crystal Tower. The fingerprints found at the scene attest to the fact.
So it can't have been orchestrated using someone who looked identical to Mr. Assman, then.
A body double. This might be jumping the gun a bit, but...
Objection!
Yeah, I didn't think. Yeah. Give me strength, buddy, across the aisle.
Hold it!
It crashed head first, you say? That's when the head fell off!
According to the many witness reports from those at the time, yes.
Were you not there at the exhibition grounds on the day?
Unlikely. I rarely leave my workshop.
Yet another of your unique inventions was found at the scene.
Well,
It was the unveiling of a machine I'd labor over for many months. I saw it clearly with my own eyes, the birdcage plummeting headfirst into the tower. What a surprise! I believe the victim's neck was broken from the headlong fall, wasn't it? Maybe that's when the head fell from the wax model. Even an infernal recluse like me reads the newspapers, you know. According to the reports, 2 injuries were apparent on the victim's body. He'd been stabbed in the chest by a screwdriver believed to belong to the defendant, and he had broken vertebrae as a result of a fall from a considerable height. Correct. My learned friend has been doing his research, it seems. I wonder how Kazuma's thinking hearing Van Zeek's, like, talk down to Ryunosuke like this. And I wonder if he's also proud of the lawyer he's become. Which one was the fatal injury? Sadly not. Forensic science is not yet at a level where such things can be determined. What we do know is that the victim died having sustained both injuries at some point during the experiment. And since he was found in the birdcage with his neck broken, it's obvious that he fell from a considerable height.
Hold it!
So you understood the science?
not in the slightest.
Right.
As I've said a number of times, I'm an engineer. My job is to manufacture according to the blueprints I'm given. I would be inviting manifold problems if I foolishly allowed my brain to digest the ideas behind them. I could be accused of stealing those ideas, for example.
But how's it possible to construct a machine without really understanding the principles it relies on?
Well, your practice...
Oh my god! Man! You just murdered somebody else, buddy. You just murdered Ryunosuke. Damn. Jeez.
Stand up for yourself, Mr. Naruhodo.
The point is, the experiment resulted in instantaneous kinesis taking place. Leave Brittany alone!
Yes, and really, experimental results are all that matters when it comes to proving a hypothesis.
Oh, I know what we're gonna do. I know what proof we're gonna use now. The birdcage, because the damage was only on the bottom. The damage was only on the bottom of the birdcage. And if he's claiming it fell and, like, the neck broke head first, the damage would be at the top of the cage. There we go. They bamboozled him! Alrighty. Aww. There are many homosexuals in the courtroom today.
Objection!
We've examined the birdcage that crashed into the crystal tower ourselves. As you can see, the cage, which is a wooden construction, has sustained damage in one particular spot. Following the explosion, it fell some 30 feet into the glass of the crystal tower. That level of damage is to be expected, surely. I agree. The damage itself is entirely understandable. What doesn't make sense is the location of that damage. All the breakages in the wood are at the base of the birdcage, not the top. What are you saying? Oh my god, he's actually sweating. He's not a robot. That's the opposite to where they should be. That's right, my lord. The birdcage that was at the scene is damaged at its base. So we have reports of the birdcage falling headlong into the crystal tower, yet the damage is at the bottom. The only way to reconcile these two facts is to accept that there were two bird cages in play that day, which were at some point switched. Switched during what isn't a scientific experiment at all, but an elaborate piece of stage trickery. Gah! I love that parts of it, random parts of his words seem to be highlighted without any significance and just like the beginning. Gah! Explain yourself, witness. Well, if we examine the facts, there's only one logical conclusion we can draw. The damage on the base of the birdcage clearly indicates that it crashed tail first into the tower. But multiple witness reports claim it fell headfirst. The birdcage materialized in the sky next to a balloon flying over the stage following a spontaneous explosion, and at an altitude of some 60 feet above ground level,
Which is approximately 18 meters.
It then proceeded to fall some 30 feet into the crystal tower in the ensuing deflagration. Witness reports amid such chaos are notoriously unreliable.
Objection!
But the victim's neck was broken.
Objection!
He plummeted 30 feet inside a heavy wooden cage. However he fell, it would be unsurprising to find one or two of his vertebrae crushed. Something to say? Are you malfunctioning again? A riveting scientific analysis of events from the prosecution there. Though to be even more rigorous, you would have to say it was only one vertebra, actually. Yeah, he's just vibing. Look at him. Ooh, let's go.
I find it hard to see what's motivating Lord Van Zeeks. The witness is clearly a swindler, and one who's deceived a personal friend of his.
If you're going to establish this deception, do it right.
Sorry?
I feel like that's the undertone here.
Ah, yes, and there's one more point. The defense appears to have forgotten.
It obviously wasn't a trick, as a certain truth very plainly demonstrates. What? Seems to me that the cross-examination better continue until we resolve this matter. Oh, okay.
We must treat the matter scientifically.
Alright, Emma Sky. I nearly had him there. There's nowhere else 30 feet high for it to have fallen from, he claims.
Hold it!
What do you mean?
Well, before the demonstration began, the victim was alive on stage in front of the audience.
There are lots of witnesses who saw Mr. Assman on the experimentation stage, that's true.
And the victim's neck broke as a result of an impact following a fall.
Logically, therefore, the victim must have fallen from somewhere. The balloon that exploded was at an altitude of 60 feet. The point of impact on the tower was 30 feet up. That difference of 30 feet is therefore the total distance the birdcage fell. And there's no other location from which the cage could have fallen that distance. Ergo... The free. Indeed, verily I say, ergo. Another place he could have fallen from. That would explain the damage on the bottom. It's all very well thought out. There were 2 bird cages. Look at this photograph.
Objection.
What? Wait. Oh, wait, did I do the wrong statement? I thought I did. Huh? Did I do the wrong statement? Or was that really not it?
Look at this photograph.
Man. Nowhere else. Okay. I thought I thought this would have been it. Because he went Nyum. Look at me making all these mistakes in front of Kazuma. I'm a little disappointed in myself, to be honest. Nowhere else I could have fallen from. Nowhere else 30 feet high. And if it's not this, he won't remember. Stop! Stop! I'm convinced he's faking it. I mean, I don't know. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Oh, would it be this? Because from here to here, are we gonna compare these height differences there? Alright, well, try that.
Objection.
There we go. This is a diagram of the experimentation stage of its surroundings. Kiryu-chan! Kazuma! Boom! We know that somehow the birdcage appeared in midair before falling down into the crystal tower. A fall of about 30 feet. 9 meters. Masked apprentice Haru, 50% off. Don't stop! There's a bunch of little Kazumas arguing in his head, and they shot the one that can't read. Or the one that knows how to read. However, if we examine the diagram carefully, you'll see that there's one other possible location from which the birdcage could have fallen. The same distance of 30 feet. No! Well, it appears the defense has a possible explanation to put forward. Go ahead, counsel. Alright, the place to which you are referring in the same diagram. The alternative location from which the birdcage could have possibly fallen. Is it going to be the top of the stage or the bottom? The place from where it could have fallen. That would be like the top then. His Onisha's just a SpongeBob brain thought. Yeah, it is! Yeah! He threw out his name!
Take that.
The place I'm referring to is here. But that's where the birdcage would have been to begin with. Which is exactly the point, my lord. Yes, the birdcage was in the machine on the stage. What we must also consider is the height of the stage itself. Breathing and cutting open grape juice bottles, literally! The apprentice is so quiet. I wonder what he's thinking. Oh, yeah, you like to just stop! Man. It turned out the experimentation stage was just above ground level. If you look at the diagram, in fact, you'll see that it's about the same height above the ground as the balloon was above the crash site. Ah, why am I yawning? Sorry, I think I've just been exerting myself so much over this stream. When the experiment got underway, the machine and the birdcage were engulfed in steam. Nyum. At that that moment, the floor of the stage gave way, and if we assume there to be a void underneath, just like Kazuma's thoughts right now, the bird cage and the one seen by the audience would have fallen almost exactly the same distance. Once again, my lord, this all points to the fact that there was not one bird cage, but two.
Objection!
My learned friend has no evidence the stage had such a contrivance in its design. Yeah, bitch, look at this photograph. Yawning can be caused by a lack of oxygen, so clearly Kazuma, you know what, you're right about that.
He does have me breathless.
Someone is responsible for the criminal destruction of the kinesis machine itself, it's true. However, the stage still stands. And take a moment to look at the photographic print. Look at the photographic print! There we go. See, I was jumping the gun. Good lord, the metal grill that formed the floor of the machine is undone! Most likely blown open by the force of the explosion that destroyed the rest of the machine. Investigate it immediately! Immediately! Mr. Brabba! It was you who built the kinesis machine, which means that it was you who built the two bird cages that were used to carry out this deception. Whether Professor Hairbrain's hypothesis is sound or not makes no difference. Because it's the construction of this machine that matters. A machine designed to take Mr. Assman's life. And lay the blame firmly at the professor's door. Something that could only have been carried out by you, Mr. Enoch Drebber! What, do you want to be an attorney the way you're slamming that desk? Wah!
Objection!
That was so sexy of him. They spent some time practicing that. If my learned friend has reached the end of his wild-ass assertions, is Kazuma allowed to drink from the hallowed chalice? Or is that a Van Zeek's exclusive privilege? He didn't even drink from it at all! Wait, is it been gay? What? What? What, huh? I mean, Rin was able to say gay. That's so weird. That is very weird. I don't know why. I didn't even get a notification saying there was like an auto mod. That's so weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Homophobic AI. Homophobic auto mod. Huh. It was censored. That's so weird. That is really weird. I don't know if it's like an account setting or something. Huh. Crush slowly but surely. Yeah, it might be like your own account or something. I don't know. That is really weird. And there's nothing wrong with being gay. Your argument fails to hold water on 2 counts. Everyone say gay in chat. Yeah, this is how we call attendance in chat. I should make the attendance redeem just gay. Change the I'm here redemption. I should just change that to gay. Firstly, huh, that is weird. Firstly, before and after the experiment, this witness went nowhere near the kinesis machine. Every relevant member of staff in the exhibition has attested to that. Kazuma? Did Autobot change gay to Kazuma? Why did my framerate just die? I don't know why it does that sometimes. And I believe members of Scotland Yard have also been on watch duty at every public experiment. In other words, Mr. Drebber had no opportunity to switch the alleged pair of bird cages. But I've already explained why he wouldn't have needed to. The nonsense with the crossbow. That doesn't bolster your case at all. They stopped making the atomic fireball candy. Oh no, I've never had that. Is it like, is that like a spicy candy? Or like a really sour candy? Aww. The man who disappeared from the stage and the man who crashed into the tower are one and the same. No, one of them was made of wax. The forensic investigation team's report is unequivocal on that point. And the second flaw in your assertion is a distinct lack of motive. Why would this man have wanted to take the victim's life? He had no reason to do so. A motive? Do I have to think of everything myself? I have here a contract provided by the witness. What contract is this, Lord Van Zeeks? It's a spicy cinnamon candy. Ooh. Oh my god, that's expensive. Oof. A contract into which Mr. Drebber entered with the victim, Mr. Assman. It reads, Mr. Drebber is to receive 30% of all remunerations from government grants or other income. Maybe he was greedy. Maybe capitalism got to him. But there was one very important provision bolted onto that clause. What provision? Mr. Drebber may only uphold this right on condition that both contracting parties are alive. In other words, if either of us were to die, the contract would become null and void. So I can do anything other- can I do anything other than open juice and hand you scrolls? Your job is to sit there and look pretty. I mean, he was always looking pretty, so like he's succeeding in that. Yeah, he's not doing a very strong job of like doing judicial assistant stuff. Ugh. Need I say more? The witness had neither an opportunity nor a reason to commit the alleged crime. In short, the possibility of Mr. Drebber having done as you suggest is nil. Is he gonna die? Oh, he died! Oh, Cosmo got to watch him die now. Aw. Sexualized wine opener! That sanitary used to be like $9. That's actually insane. Oh my god. That is the sexiest wine opener I've ever seen. Seems the defense's assertion was somewhat off the mark. Lord Van Zeeks, you will submit to the contract as evidence. Oh my god, that's me. That's me. When you're mean to me, this is who you're being mean to. I'm actually the mouse on his shoulder. Man, it's true. A contract. Okay. What if it wasn't them that signed it? He can open my wine. If Drebber had no opportunity to switch the birdcage onto the stage with the one in the Crystal Tower, he couldn't have done it. And in any case, I have no idea what his motive might have been. There is one aspect of your argument. When you're mean to me, you're mean to Chinosuke! Yes, exactly! It still holds true, however. There were 2 bird cages. The prosecution is unable to deny that. Ah. So I'm sure you're on the right lines, Mr. Naruhodo. And I've no doubt there are other aspects of your assertion that are undeniable truths too. Well, it would seem that the defense has no rejoinder to offer. Well, I must say I'm a little surprised. I came here to testify about the machine I built, and instead my reputation is defiled. But the prosecution's counter has set the record straight, I think. It's impossible that I'm the culprit.
Objection!
Stop covering Kazuma! At the beginning of this trial, we believed there was only 1 birdcage, and now we know there must have been 2. In other words, there was more to the demonstration than we realized at first. I think it's abundantly clear that the same applies to the culprit. Get to the point. The stage demonstration was constructed and set up in its entirety by you, Mr. Drebber. Therefore, it's inconceivable that you had no hand in the events that transpired. He's angry. So if circumstances mean it's impossible that you could have carried the crime out yourself, it points to the fact that someone else was involved. I hope to God it's not Masked Disciple.
Objection!
Or even Two Spell? I don't know. An accomplice now. Well then, I presume you're prepared for what's to come. Now that you're accusing not only this witness but someone else of the most serious of crimes. If these accusations turn out to be false, then make no mistake. The prosecution will demand an equally serious punishment for your slander. Oh, Jesus. This is a little more than a hunch on my part. I don't know for sure if Jarba had an accomplice or if he really is the culprit here. One way or another, though, I have to make my position clear, as a lawyer. I mean, she wouldn't have lent it and faked it as a theft, right? Like, why would she do that? But... although... this has some link to the professor. Go back. I want to see the autopsy report. Courtney Stevens. It can't be a coincidence that she's named Courtney, right? That can't be a coincidence, right? With an excessively long name. Was someone with long white hair and in a coat spotted at the scene? Didn't somebody say that was somebody like that was seen? I don't know. I do not know. I will try. This could be a big stretch. Then I'm gonna just say Courtney and see what happens. This could be so wrong. Everything points to that. Yet according to the coroner's report, that's not a possibility. But that inconsistency itself is a clue. Counsel? My lord, you have received a stark warning already if you are nevertheless determined. And I must now ask you to identify this alleged accomplice by name. God damn. Tall person in a white coat with white hair. Wasn't somebody like that spotted at the scene, if I'm not mistaken?
Take that!
Oh, no! No, I didn't mean to do that! No! I didn't mean to do that, no! I'm so sorry, Susato! I didn't mean to do that, that was an accident! I meant to, like, switch pages, no! Oh, no! I'm so sorry, Susato.
Take that!
Oh my god, that's really it? What's wrong, my Nipponese friend? Surely fear doesn't bind your tongue now. Is it a little late for that? Of course, I'm afraid. After all, naming her in this capacity is definitely gonna make waves. I know Susato's the mastermind. I could very well turn every single person in this courtroom against me. I'm sure it'll be alright, Mr. I'm about to name you as the accomplice, Susato! Like, I wouldn't be so chill if I were you! Thank you, Mrs. Sato.
The enemy always appears larger than life, but you'll appear exactly the same to the enemy.
Alright then, here goes. You've kept us waiting long enough. Your answer, Council. Now. The person who colluded with Mr. Drebber in order to carry out this wicked crime is Scotland Yard's coroner, Dr. Courtney Scythe.
What the blazes are you talking about, Dr. Scythe?
The head of the forensic investigation team and the coroner who conducted the autopsy on the victim. She could have forged it. We know there were 2 bird cages, so who could have carried out the switch to complete the illusion? The accident happened in front of a huge crowd of spectators, and the arena was immediately sealed off. Then everyone, police officers included, were banished to make way for a forensic investigation team. When else could the switch have occurred? It can only have been in that team's presence. It's essential that the court determines exactly what happened following the incident. The defense demands that Dr. Scythe be summoned to the witness stand at once to testify. What a nerve, lad! Standing up there, dragging the Yard's name through the mud. Do the right thing, Mr. Nara. Oh my god. I didn't mean to... I know the woman very well. There's no better dead room worker out there. How dare you call her a criminal? My learned friend's imagination appears to be wilder than the East End at night. But the recklessness of your accusation aside, there's another grave problem with your argument. One which the prosecution demands you address at once. A grave problem?
Oh my word!
Who do you claim acted as the victim's doppelganger? Certainly if the bird cage contained the body of the victim and was exchanged for another, that cage must have also contained a body. And yet, no missing persons or accidental deaths of anyone even remotely resembling the victim have been reported. Maybe the reason it's masked is because it looks different? I don't know. Which means there was no one, dead or alive, who could have fulfilled the role of a body double for Mr. Assman. No, there is! Yeah, you do! I mean, we have this and this. I'm inclined to believe the glass because it specifically says it was found in the folds of the clothing of the waxwork and was appeared to be from the Crystal Tower. This makes no mention of the great exhibition itself. So I'll go with the glass and see what happens. Very well. The defense will address my learned friend's concerns. Ooh, throw it back at him! By presenting evidence that reveals the true nature of Mr. Assman's body double. Good gracious! Evidence! I do hope this isn't filibustering, Counsel. The court is expecting a name. If you think you have relevant evidence, present it now. The body double and the birdcage were hiding inside the balloon that was floating above the stage, which means that any witnesses would have only seen them from 60 feet away. So who was it that appeared out of that explosion some 18 meters above the spectators? Or would this be the, wax model then? The head? Okay. We're asking what specifically the body double was this time. So now I'm inclined to think it would be the head.
Take that!
We know that the victim, Mr. Assman, was in the birdcage that was situated inside the kinesis machine on stage, and therefore he couldn't have been inside the second birdcage. Instead, that contains something else. What's been described as a body double, which is what fell from the sky and crashed into the Crystal Tower. Yes, Counsel, according to your somewhat elaborate version of events, And that body double inside the second birdcage was in fact...
It's alright, Mr. Naruhodo. You're ready for this. Just steel yourself and come out with it.
Thank you, Mr. Sato, I needed that. As I was saying, the body double inside the second birdcage was, as unbelievable as it may seem, that thing there! I didn't realize we just kept the evidence in a big pile like that. Thank you, Mrs. Sato. Yes, I will come out to the court. I'm gay! Hey, girl.
Objection!
How is Kazuma keeping a straight face throughout all this? Open your eyes and look into mine, my Nipponese friend. I'd like to stare into the eyes of your apprentice, if that's okay. Now tell me, what are you playing at? Stand firm now, Ryunosuke. This is the time to show your Japanese spirit. As the court will observe, this is a waxwork model. Oh, that weak little slap. A model, in fact, of an infamous London murderer from oh, is Van Zeke... He thinks I'm taunting him, doesn't he, with this? You started by indicting the leader of the forensic investigation team as an accomplice in this crime. And now you moved on to indicting waxworks? Yes, that's about the size of it. But why? And why this waxwork? It looks nothing like the victim. In fact, it could hardly resemble him less. What possible justification can you give? The wax done special! If you want to know why, ask Mr. Grabber. What? Just days before Professor Harebrain performed his public demonstration, Mr. Drebber abducted this model from Madame Two Spells. Did you say abducted? And 2 days after the incident at the Great Exhibition, he returned it to the museum. Then the timing. Is this true, Mr. Drebber? At first I couldn't see why Mr. Drebber would have stolen the waxwork and then given it back again. But now the reason is clear. He took it so that he could put it inside the second birdcage as a body double for Mr. Assman.
Objection!
I need Kazuma to do more stuff. Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Are you hearing the defense's astonishing proposal? That the witness fabricated this vast machine with the intention of deceiving some wretched scientist. That he did so in collusion with the country's finest coroner on a public stage in front of a vast audience. And that, to the effect of deception, he used a waxwork model that in no way resembles the victim. Are we really to believe this far-fetched tale? What do you decide?
Objection!
Aw, weak slap. Wait! Yes, if you put it like that, of course it sounds implausible. My lord. Oh no, summation examination time. Isn't it? We haven't done one of these yet. Myself and my colleagues have reached an agreement. Very good. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, will state your leanings for the court here now.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Is that a child on the jury? Alrighty. We're gonna be using that glass piece, I'm sure. So as indicated by the foreman, the jury has reached a consensus. I knew that was gonna happen.
We shall get through this, Mr. Naruhodo, as we always do. And uncover some new truths along the way, I'm quite sure.
Yes, I agree. Nizis is about to throw the entire hallowed wine bottle at Ryunosuke's head, yeah. I'm gonna have to appeal to the jurors as usual and see if I can persuade them to change their minds. The defense will now embark on a summation examination. He's just like, he's not even asking. He's like, yep, I know this is gonna happen, sure. We are, my lord. Very well. In that case, I ask you now to state clear for all present to hear the grounds on which each of you has decided the defense is guilty of the crime of which he is charged. I've known that woman for years. She'd never be an accomplice to anything. It's utter nonsense to think those two would ever be conniving with one another. Oh dear, this is most troubling. But surely the waxwork the man stole has nothing to do with the coroner, is it? Courtney Stevens. I've had my own problems with members of the police. I do not trust them much. I've seen no rigorous proof that this waxwork was ever inside the birdcage. It's conjecture!
Accusing someone without right evidence? It's not a proper job, you see? I won't have it.
Alrighty. Somewhat unsurprisingly, it seems the introduction of this waxwork model to the proceedings has polarized opinion. Given that its face is obscured and its build in no way resembles that of the victim, I can only applaud my learned friend's temerity at suggesting it as Mr. Assman's body double. The applause is deafening, and yes, I know it seems extraordinary. Masked apprentice, give me strength. That's the point. That's why I have a strong feeling it's actually a greater clue than anyone yet realizes.
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
I can't explain why at the moment, but I feel as though there's a specific reason why it was used, why it had to be this model.
Really? A reason why nothing else would do, you mean?
And I'm convinced it's something far more significant than whether or not the model looked like the victim.
Well, if that's the case, we must prevent the trial from ending prematurely at all costs.
Alrighty. Okay. Let's do this. I'm gonna make you so proud, Kazuma. Just watch me. It's wild that he goes first. He just like barges out like that.
Hold it!
The order of things seems to have changed around here for some reason. I'm a copper lad. It's a copper's discretion to bend the rules sometimes, of course. Of course. What's wrong with that? Where do I start? I've been working at the yard for 40 odd years. Do you know something about Courtney's previous last name? Been on the Yard Metropolitan Police Service in town for 70 years now, you know. Of course, times have changed. The public didn't trust coppers back when that started. It was rough. We had to fight crime, we had to fight to win the public's trust as well. And when we did, forensic science was in its infancy too, but more than it is now, and she spearheaded the revolution. Dr. Scythe, you mean? That's right. About 10 years ago now it was, and I was still a youngish Bobby on the beat. That's when she started making a name for herself as a top-class coroner. And now look at her, head of forensic investigation team, and a woman no less. Yes, I'm a feminist! You want to hear me complain? Yes! ACAB, especially this whole bastard, agreed. And he's claiming that he's a feminist to get out of it. But you say 10 years ago, which is exactly when, the professor case. We were all that doable justice lad, full of him, we were, full of him. Masked apprentice, give me strength. That's coming across loud and clear. Oops. We all know that when we're only- they were only invented 2 minutes ago, and they're already becoming head coroners. Whoa. Or no, he's lying. This guy's obviously lying. Because women didn't exist more than 2 minutes ago. What are you reading there, sir? The man behind those murders on Solar Pond Street was caught in 2 days flat. That's real policing for you. That's really not relevant to this case, is it? They sprang into existence specifically for this case. How convenient. You're wrong there. Because it was Dr. Scythe in charge of examining the bodies. And it was evidence arising from her work that led to the arrest of the scoundrel responsible. That's right. Oh, that woman is at the forefront of this country's fight against crime. The idea that she's somehow involved in this murky business is a load of old tosh. I thought it was up to me to press the jurors, not the other way around. I know, women are so powerful they bent reality. Good for them!
Hold it!
Why would you assume that? Well, quite simply because that unsettling swindler has no relationship with the woman, does he? True, as it stands, we don't know of any connection. Oh gosh, but it would be delightfully romantic if there was somehow a mutual interest in the waxwork. Romantic? A woman of society such as myself views everything in terms of relationships, you know. Well, you learn something new every day, even if you don't want to. One might wonder about a possible relationship between the defendant and this coroner woman. Or perhaps between the defendant and the handsome prosecutor just... Oh my god! Is she a Fujoshi juror moment? Oh my god. Base juror, yeah. I'm getting a screenshot of this. We love juror number 2, yes! She's an ally! Masked Apprentice, give me strength.
Hello, LGBTQ community.
Yeah! Juror number 2, we love you here. Yeah, she's got a very finely tuned gaydar. Can she sense something between you and Masked Apprentice?
If that's the woman's stance, then perhaps demonstrating some connection between the waxwork and Dr. Scythe would be enough.
Can we present it to her? Cause did this change? That is the same thing that she said, yeah. The waxwork is of the man, that man, and then Courtney. Anyways. Okay, then why are you saying guilty? What sort of problems?
Let's just say we have run into each other on numerous occasions while I've been performing on the streets.
Right, I see.
Obviously, artists such as myself cannot appear on stage as we work in close proximity to our audiences, so we perform our great magic in parks, on streets, corners, and the like. But the police use any excuse to make our lives...
Uh-oh, the girls are fighting!
Excuse me.
Don't swirl that gun around, please. Do you have something to say in response to that? Mr. Ottermole! Oh, you're calling a mass murder... What? I was saying your name, buddy. I got... Oh, yeah, Miss Ottermole. Yeah, the guy. I got confused because I heard you look like him. I don't look anything like the man! You want to be locked up, sonny? Thanks, Mr. Sholmes. I am asking Masked Apprentice for a lot of strength. Perhaps we can move on. I was really wondering if you had something you wanted to add in response to what juror number 3 just said. And clearly you do. Back in my day, back in the good old days, it wasn't like this. Why are you getting Toby's theme song? Toby Jr.'s theme song. What was it like, sir? We worked our fingers to the bone to earn the public's trust, we did. And by Jove, we earned it. People respected us back then.
Respected you?
No one would have called a coroner into question in them days. The cop theme song. Unfortunate. Why must it be kind of a banger? A coroner's report was the hallmark of an investigation done right. Especially when Dr. There we go, baby. She was the best of the best. Hold on a minute. What are you talking about? Who's Courtney Stevens? Ah, sorry, got a bit carried away there. Stevens is Dr. Scythe's maiden name. Her maiden name? So that was before she was married. Of course, yes. Silly me. It's Scythe now, isn't it? It is asked? Yes, we love jurors number 2 and 3. We stand them. Sorry to interrupt, sir. Do you think you could change your statement to include that name? Would it be jumping the gun to pit that against juror number 2? I should probably press these two just to see. But this is about the waxwork in the bird cage, and
Hold it!
I don't know. Well, you claim the whole instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a trick. That I did, but there's more than one way to pull a rabbit out of a hat, isn't there? Sorry? I grant you, given this cage appeared from amidst the explosion, there'd have been no need to use a real person. But if a waxwork had been used, the culprit could have at least had the decency to make it look like the victim. I'm not sure exactly how much criminals are governed by decency. The point is, if you're gonna make a claim about that waxwork being inside the birdcage, you'll need to give us some evidence. Glass. I have evidence. And this is science man.
But that perhaps means his mind could be changed if we manage to present suitable evidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Glass. Actually, I have something I'd like you to see, sir. Oh, I must warn you that I firmly believe it's only wise to trust men in white coats. So, I'm wearing my blue-green jacket now. I mean, you're also in a black coat, buddy.
Huh.
Take that!
What's that? A piece of glass, though it's unusually thick for glass. It's a piece of broken glass that we found inside the jacket on the waxwork. As you say, it's not ordinary glass, though. It's very thick and clearly made for extra strength. Much like the special glass that was developed for the construction of the Crystal Tower. The Crystal Tower. Holy smoke! Mm-hmm. Centerpiece of the Great Exhibition where the very incident we're talking about took place. On the day in question, the birdcage fell from above and smashed through a window of that special glass. From whence this small piece originated. Is that it? Precisely. So, what do you say? Now the clear evidence in support of the assertion has been placed before you. Well, as I said, I only trust men in white coats as a rule. However, and reasoning is sound, and it's fair to say color shouldn't come into it. In light of what you showed me here, yes, I've been obliged to change my position on the matter. In that case, juror number 4, you will amend your statement now. And she said accusing someone without evidence. Well, we do have evidence. Alright, I'm gonna try pitting him against number 5.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict. Good gracious! To whose statements do you refer? Put the corn down, bestie.
I never noticed she was holding an ear of corn. Oh, you mean me?
You pointed out that it's wrong to make an accusation without evidence, but the accusation that the Waxworks model was inside the second birdcage on the day in question is not without supporting evidence, as the defense demonstrated to the jurors sitting beside you.
Oh, is that right?
Were you not paying attention? Would it be fair to say you didn't follow the argument?
I don't understand much besides Colonel Cobb, to be honest.
Oh my god. If I could interject here, please do, sir. Now that this assertion of yours about the waxwork has been backed up by some solid evidence, it would be wrong of me as a man of science not to pursue the matter further.
Oh well, me too then.
She does not give a fuck.
If this brainy gentleman says he's right, then he must be. See, I wouldn't dream of going against Colonel Cobb or anyone who's stuffing between the ears.
Huh? Bonk. Alright, I'm gonna try... Oops, oh my god, I forgot. 5 is the last one in this one. I'm hoping I don't have to press number 6's new statement, but we'll see. Alrighty. Where is, Mr. Stevens? I'm assuming Mr. Stevens, you know, but... Is he no longer in the picture? Or Mr. Scythe, I should say. Is he gone? Because, is she available?
Objection.
Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious! To whose statements do you refer, counsel? Juror number 2. Oh gosh, me? What can I do for you? I presume you heard what juror number 6 said in his statement. It's brought to light that the maiden name of the coroner, Dr. Scythe, which was a term revealed a connection that wasn't apparent before. Well, naturally, as a woman of society, I find such connections and relationships irresistible. But oh golly, I'm afraid I fail to see what you mean. Dr. Scythe's maiden name is Stevens. And through that name, the coroner is very definitely linked to the waxwork of the killer. The defense has evidence to prove it. My goodness, evidence, you say? How utterly enthralling! What is it with the juror number 2 ladies being like this? Like the I do declare lady was also like this. Mm-hmm. Look at this, baby. We got the updated autopsy report. Well, not updated, because it's 10 years old. A 10-year-old autopsy report? What relevance does that have? Look at the name on it, baby. From the autopsy of the person portrayed in the waxwork, the killer known as the Professor. The Professors? But the man was a capital offender, so... That's right. This is a certification of death that was drawn up after the convict's execution. The identity of the killer was never made public, so the report gives few details. But what's important is the name of the coroner who wrote it. Courtney Stevens! Oh my! Courtney Stevens! Strike a light! It appears the professor's autopsy was conducted by Dr. Scythe 10 years ago. And a few days ago, Mr. Jubber very deliberately stole the waxwork of the professor from Madame Two Spells. A waxwork that doesn't in fact resemble the victim, Mr. Assman, at all. And do you suppose there's some unsavory relationship between those events? Absolutely, I'm sure of it! There's no doubt in my mind that Professor Case is at the heart of a link we have yet to... What if her husband was the professor? No, she wouldn't have been married at the time, never mind. But, no. Hidden links, mysterious connections, secret relationships. This is almost extraordinary. We're surely obliged now to explore this further. Alrighty. Quite right. We can't let this trial come to an end now. Not with this cloud of suspicion hanging over the yard's best corridor. It wasn't like this in my day, but we're still here. I would love to meet this lady at a party. Oh yeah, God, yes, please. I would love, can I please talk to her, like, after the trial? Yeah, we did it, yeah. As a result of the summation examination, the jury's overall leaning has changed. 2 jurors now call guilty against 4 who call not guilty. Accordingly, the court has failed to reach a consensus at this time. And the trial must continue. We did it! Are you proud of me, Master Apprentice? Will he kiss me after the trial? I want to know what he's thinking! Aside from the Duckburg theme song, not the DuckTales theme song, not the, you know, the... A waxwork of the despicable professor. She got married within, like, the last 6 months. Oh, is that, like... interesting. Is that, like, relevant or, like, not mentioned or anything? But, like, And then where's Mr. Scythe? Because, I might have to meet him outside. I just thought it was cool. Okay. The waxwork of the body double. I must say, it's extremely hard to believe the assertion could possibly be true. However, didn't realize her name was in the first game. Oh, it was? Was there a report from a Courtney Stevens in there, or was Courtney Stevens mentioned? Interesting. It's the waxwork of the professor that links Mr. Jubber and Dr. Scythe. And I'm convinced there's a special significance to that link. It was the Mason Milverton autopsy. Interesting. Cool. I don't know what you're hoping to prove, lad. I really don't.
The truth, sir. By using evidence and testimony.
If the court is to delve deeper into the alleged involvement of the waxwork in this case, then the prosecution calls for the owner of the model to be summoned as a witness. Miss milady! Madam Two Spells. It was the Windibanks autopsy. I see, okay. I just checked, okay. I really thought that Lord Van Zeeks would object to this whole line of inquiry.
So my pretty lady's gonna be here.
Make arrangements for Madame Two Spells to appear as a witness with immediate effect. Listen carefully, my learned friend. Yeah? What's up? You should know that you're on the brink of opening Pandora's box. Something with the professor case, you mean? Revealing his identity? It was still Stevens there, so she's been married for like 6 months max? Interesting. Alright, let's go get the pretty lady here. Can you please bow? Madame Two Spells, yes. I shall see to it at once, my lord. I need him to bow! Alright. I think I want to keep going for just a little I am hungry and I feel like I need a break, but I want to keep going a little longer. Maybe for like another half hour or so. I can't just stop. I gotta know. Stuff's happening and I want to see my pretty lady. Alrighty. Ah! The Knight Errant himself shakes and trembles. Oh, have you been watching from the gallery, Mr. Schultz? I've been on the edge of my seat the entire time. Hey, girl. Courtroom trials are fascinating affairs, as a spectator at least. I'm glad you've been enjoying. Oh, that's him saying. It never stops. It doesn't. It's not stopping. I just need him and Kazuma to talk. And I need to know for a fact if he's like actually got amnesia or if he's just faking. I have to ask, what on earth is going on? It makes no sense. What's this professor business all about? He doesn't look like any professor I met before. Who even is he? Nobody even knows what he looks like. You were in Germany already 10 years ago. Yes, the professor. When I discovered he was the one who had been abducted, a sense of foreboding stirred within me. Because he's involved in the Baskervilles. But who knew the monster would come knocking at your door? My heartfelt sympathies! As it turns out, Lord Van Zeeks is even more intimately tied to this case than any of us realized, isn't he?
Yes, how true. His great friend from university in the dock.
Great friend! The exact same phrase used to describe Ryunosuke and Kazuma. And now a waxwork of the killer who took his esteemed brother's life makes an appearance too. I imagine even the shrewd Mr. Reaper failed to foresee that kick in the teeth. You think it's funny? An extraordinary move on your part, my dear fellow, to throw that in front of the man. What, you think I'm just trying to intimidate him? Girls win great friends and partners. Great friends. Great partners. Partner!
I can't help feeling that this professor case is really very puzzling.
Oh yes, in what particular manner?
Well, there's Mr. Trevor, Dr. Scythe,
Great
and Lord Van Zeeks.
vegetables.
You got Oh my god! You can't believe you got the Dojima one! Great vegetables. Great friends. I can't believe you got that. You got Cam's lucky timing with that. Oh my god. I didn't wonder if it would. Amazing. Beautiful.
Yes. In fact, I alone am not a member of the set. No, that leaves me as an empty seat, all alone with no intersection to any other.
I was like, what are the chances? Excuse me. Oh, it's her. Hi, Courtney. Yeah, get a lottery ticket. Hi, Dr. Scythe. She wants me dead for sure. Ah, Dr. Courtney Scythe. Nay, Stevens. Good day to you. Hello, Sholmes. That was very shrewd of you. What in particular, pray? You requested that 10-year-old autopsy report from Gregson, didn't you? Why would you assume such a thing? Yeah, yeah. Hey, Mother. Because Gregson told me. To think it's been 10 years. 10 years in the laboratory, wielding my scalpel. I smell of nothing but corpses and disinfectant. Alright, very attractive. Sparkle on! It's Monday! Don't forget to be yourself! A policeman on the jury had a lot to say about you as it happens, Dr. Scythe. And I've accused you of being complicit in what happened. Sorry. I'm hoping you'll take the stand and tell the truth about what really happened. That certainly won't be possible. Lord Van Zeeks won't be summoning me as a witness. Lord Strongheart has forbidden it. Oh, is Strongheart involved in this too, then? The Pandora's box you were warned about is the Professor case. But please don't make the mistake of thinking you'll get any information about it out of me. But attempting to hide from the truth, that's cowardice. I've always fought crime in the way that I see fit. I have no regrets, none at all. And that's all I came here to say. I'm about to sneeze. Sorry, I thought I was about to sneeze. Good day. Peace. It's Pandora's box. Am I gonna get disbarred again? Bless you preemptively, thank you. There's really no cause for concern, I assure you, when the trial resumes. The meaning will become all too apparent, whether you like it to or not. Huh? Now then, I believe it's almost time. I must make my way back to the public gallery. The edge of my seat awaits. I think maybe you're enjoying yourself a little too much. He's just having fun. One word of warning before I go. If, in the course of the trial this afternoon, you perceive even a shadow of doubt about the truth, don't let it out of your sight. Pursue it like a dog with your bone. Or a dog with a bone. Well, whatever. To the bitter end, you understand. Do not falter, whatever may come to pass. I need that mask gone. I shall make myself scarce then. I purchased a bar of caramel earlier, so I shall be gnawing on that as you gnaw away at the truth. Sholmes Caramel. He's got his own brand. What did that warning from Mr. Sholmes really mean, I wonder? Especially the bit about whatever may come to pass. He's getting high again. Yes, he's having the Coke chocolate again. I'm determined to find the truth, no matter what. Is he ever not high? Yeah, I don't think... he's just permanently high, I guess. What if like, Coke has, like, the opposite effect on him and it makes him normal? Ooh! Little wax guy. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby reconvene the proceedings of this court. Counsels for the defense and prosecution. Are you ready and able to continue? Oh, yeah. The prosecution is ready, my lord. Yes, my lord. The defense is also ready. I know I said I wanted to keep playing a little longer, but I'm also feel like once I get into this, I'm not gonna want to stop. And I do feel like I actually need a break, like, soon. Like, I feel like I'm starting to get a little headache. I don't know if it's just from, like, being hungry or whatever, or, like, staring at my screen. That's why I, like, keep, like, rubbing my head. And I want to be fully present for this. I do need a snacky. Okay. Call me Courtney Stevens, because I'm taking my break. Alright. I'll continue this tomorrow, then. We'll continue tomorrow, then. Yeah. We'll do this tomorrow. Oh boy! Many things are happening. Tomorrow we will finish this case. I won't beat it in a fight, that's true, that is very true. I do need a little snacky and everything, but thank you all so much for being here throughout all of this everything, this everything that's happening. Things. Kiryu-chan! Ah! But oh boy. Thank you all. We'll continue same time tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm very nervous. I want to see Kazuma again. I missed him. I miss him. But it only gets more from here. Oh, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. But thank you all for being here. Let's see. Let's go raid Nor. We raided Nor quite a few times. They are playing Little Goody Two Shoes. They play a lot of Honkai Impact, Honkai Star Rail. They're very much into Honkai. They also love Bungo Stray Dogs. But they're playing Little Goody Two Shoes right now. I've seen a couple people play this around like for Halloween. I don't know much about the game, but it seems like a fun little horror game. Yeah. But thank you all so much. I will need the energy. Yes, I do need to rest and regenerate. But thank you again. Have a great rest of your night or day, and I'll see ya. Bye-bye.